Now we're coming in live from the Trash Talk Tuesday Discord server. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trash Talk Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed that lovely
We didn't.
introduction.
It was dog shit.
You're dog shit.
No,
You are
no.
dog shit.
These are lies.
I'm
These are
sorry.
lies.
Please forgive me
Rain,
because
he is making attacks on me in real life.
tonight
Make him stop.
tonight is exclusively the PG episode of Trash Talk Tuesday. I am
We already
personally
blew that.
not allowed to swear right now. I can
Wait,
only
is it
say
actually? I was
I
like,
It was
can
okay when the 10-year-old was on?
let it rip tonight.
everybody else can say whatever they want, but I can only say
Fuck
frickin' and
broccoli.
heck. All right? So frickin'
Heckin'.
heck, welcome to Trash Talk
A
Tuesday.
heckin' chonker.
So tonight we're joined by a smaller group of people than we were last week. We're joined by our good friend Blazing Bunny. Say hello, Blazing.
Hello.
All right. We're also joined by elite wormholer Rich
Hello
Richmond.
and welcome from the middle of nowhere.
Straight out of fight, Rush, and I'm on tea.
Okay, great. And we're also joined by Bill.
Hello, friends. I hope everybody's doing swell tonight.
And we've got Dominarch here.
Fuck. Hello all.
Yo, this chat is giving me life right now. We're also joined by a real elite wormholer, Laura Secco. And yes, LB, you can.
Thank you for making the distinction there.
I totally thought you were introducing me when you said that.
Okay. Did I introduced you, didn't I, Fountain Frank?
I don't remember.
He's next. No, you skipped him.
Okay, I skipped him, and we're also joined by Fountain Frank.
Hello.
And then we've got the usual Rain, Chocolate, and Sager 1737,
Hi.
and of course Villy.
Who are you?
I'm just 1737. Yeah. Oh, all right. Fine.
Why'd you
Yep.
say his full name, but mine doesn't have chocolate in it, and you said my full name?
Because your name is Rain Chocolate. Like at
It's
the end of
Rain.
the day, your name is Rain Chocolate.
It's Rain.
Chocolate
It's
pudding.
Ronnie
On
Chocolati.
the motherfucking floor.
Here's the real. Everybody can hear the Discord, right?
No,
Right?
I can't hear you.
If you put on your headphones, there's a magical thing. A sound comes through them.
Stop getting
Okay.
memed by Twitch chat. Let's go.
Great.
I really
Everybody's cool. All
I
right.
really
so,
want to be toxic.
Okay, be toxic tonight. That's fine.
But I don't want to be toxic because I'm a nice guy.
So tonight on our topic list, the first thing that I want to talk about is this new and amazing update to EVE Online's most engaging content
Trash.
since Fozzie and Citadels. The new Abyssal stuff. So who saw this stuff and wants to give an opinion on it?
I wish they'd released this 6 months ago. I'd be super excited for this 6 months ago, because we'd actually have a wormhole PvP cat meta to use these new Abyssal mods in. But as it stands, a lot of people's response to this is just sort of a shrug and why didn't this effort go into like an nullsec PvE revamp instead?
I mean, there's a lot of people that didn't go broke with the last Abyssal shit that are probably going to go broke with this Abyssal shit.
That's true.
You think so? With the capital Abyssal mods?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not a fan
There will be
of
a lot of wormholers with a lot of ISK rolling a lot of siege mod. That's
Yeah,
what's going to happen.
I don't
They
know if there
have
will,
nobody to
be
fight
honest.
them with, though.
The damage bonus is so minor, and you're starting off with 100 million as mod on probably a Mutaplasmid that's going to cost several hundred mil, at least to start. You know, you're adding in a good 600, 700, 800 mil. The damage increase is 2% with a perfect roll. It's not a significant increase.
We'll be rolling it for the shield boost bonus.
Philly, these are the
Yeah.
guys that brick officer modules just for fun.
I've also bricked officer modules. There's still a line where it's like, is this a reasonable and feasible thing to do? And I mean, if it was triage modules, that'd be interesting. But siege modules and siege module tank just doesn't feel anywhere near as rewarding, although I'm sure it can be.
I'm not a fan of how the Abyssal stats are distributed. It's way too random. I'd like it to be more incremental and more standardized. Though I am curious if people in NullSec are going to start adding this to their fleet compositions. You know, telling everybody you got to get a minimum of these stats if you want to.
No,
No,
you can't.
we've
You can't do
people
That's
have already
ridiculous.
like I can tell you we actually did the math on like gravid rolling like 50 meganewton micro warp drives at one point, and we did the math on gravid rolling 1600 plates, I think, for fitting at one point, and there's just no way to make it sustainable. You generally need at least 4 rolls to even have a chance, but the problem is through randomization, like literally somebody has to make all these modules, and you have to buy them at scale, and it just is not possible to make it work. We literally put in the effort to try and like plan it and theorize it, and there's just no way to make it work. Abyssal modules will never scale past 10, 20, 30 guys level of things, and that's just not a concern you need to have. I mean, that is
Can I-
something that's reasonable in wormholes, but not at the fleet meta level.
Yeah, I
Right.
can accept that. It's a small group of
I do think I'm going to be rolling siege mods though for 2 reasons. Firstly,
That's for the
It's-
tank, right?
yeah, well, firstly for the tank, take in Nagafar for example, its tank is looking really low post surgical strike. I think that 20% bump combined with a well-voled shield booster is what it needs to maybe bring it back into some sort of capital meta. Number 2, there's a couple of very niche Phoenix fits that are really low on fitting to the point that we already have to be like Abyssal rolling BCSs for CPU and that sort of thing. I can see a lot of flexibility now that we can roll things for fitting. Like there's going to be some interesting fits coming out of the woodworks. I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping there's going to be a Python dev update tomorrow. I'm looking forward to playing around with that.
You're going to be all kinds of new wormhole PVE fits because you have nobody to fight left, so there's no PvP.
I'll tell you what, man. I've been complaining so much about surgical strike, but the hail buff increased my IS per hour by like 25%. That's like the main benefit from surgical strike for wormholers. PvE is super strong right now.
There you
And
go.
the Abyssal module, I don't think we'll use
Well,
them in PvE.
if the blue loot sales are anything, you guys had your best month ever last month.
Well,
Jesus.
we don't know what blue loot sales are anymore because CCP's tool for tracking commodities broke in January and they've not bothered fixing it.
That's not good.
So you will know more than me on that front. But we won't get into the wormhole stuff because we're talking about Abyssal stuff, but I'm not surprised that it's been our best month ever.
I mean, we can totally get into the wormhole stuff if we want to after we talk about the Abyssal stuff. So
Yeah, I'll derail it. Let's do the Abyssal
Well,
stuff.
what else is there to talk about? All right, we got level 6s now. You got level 0s. Level 0s are for people who think that level 1s are too hard, so they want to fly an Ibis with
just say
civilian
they're for
guns
people that suck.
and get loot.
That's
so
what it
people who
is.
hang out.
I don't
Let's
think
not
it's
say
possible
that-
for any. I don't think it's possible for anybody to suck that much that they need level 0s. I'm just.
Are you kidding
so
me?
let's restart there. So level 0 is not made for people who suck. It's made for new players to try the fucking Abyss experience. Because level 1s are actually hard when you have no fucking skill points. And if you guys could have a little bit of fucking understanding how the new player deals with this fucking game, you would realize that these level 0s actually have a place in the fucking format. Jesus.
Yeah, I gotta say, I can imagine a new player, no idea what he's doing, a weekend activating a T1 Abyssal and just feeding his thorax or whatever to scram newt rats because he has no idea what newts are. I can see that. There's no disadvantage to it.
Philip
Really.
was mean to me. I'm upset now.
I mean, there's no disadvantage, is it? Because nobody's gonna bot them because the payout's gonna be worthless, I assume. So there's not
Oh
really
my
a
god,
disadvantage.
the game's
is
too hard.
This
Where?
game is hard. You know.
So,
I know,
Billy, quick question for you. So you say that there's a place for this in the game, but do you think that this is really the place where CCP needs new player focus?
I think the Abyss is one of the best new player retention tools CCP has introduced in the last 5 years. The Abyss is one of the most entertaining and interesting PvE elements that EVE has. And getting people on the fucking train tracks for the Abyss in terms of PvE is one of the best tools CCP has to keeping people playing EVE, engaging in EVE, and becoming long-term players. So yeah.
You can do it in relative safety. The visuals are, from what I've seen, stunning. And it's just something you can pick up and get into, that you can do that anywhere. You don't have to go to any risky systems or, God forbid, have an accident in Uedama.
Rich, are you concerned that the level 0s are so easy they'll be easily botted?
No, because
You're
for
baiting
the sake
him.
of how much money
You're
they would
baiting.
make I don't think I don't think anybody's going to bot something that's worth so little when they could just, bot something that's worth a lot more in a few extra clicks.
There's a lot of healer T3 and T4 bots right now. If you undock Vegeta, I'd predict that a decent proportion of the traces that you see on scan are bots. And it's kind of hard to report them because you can't study them in sight like you can nullsec bots. So kind of like wormhole bots, they just go uncaught because nobody's watching them.
And they're completely safe. They're in high sec. I mean, you could report them as they come out, but if you don't catch, you're sitting there waiting for them to come out. It's not ideal. It's not ideal.
Yeah, maybe I should. Like a new Abyssal update for me is a sign that I should go to Vegeta and start buying some tornadoes. Maybe I'll start killing some T2 healers as well as the bling ones, just for the sake of clearing some botters.
So what about the level 6s? Sorry, you were going to ask a question. What's your question?
I'm curious, is there a way to stop them from warping off long enough to cargo scan them and decide whether or not they're worth ganking?
Yeah, you can. Well, I usually cargo scan them as they're undocking from Vegeta. I'll either scan them on the undock or I'll combat probe them and scan them at their insta undock.
None of the bots are going to be expensive enough
No,
to
none
be
of them
worth
will be.
ganking. They're going to focus on something like level 3s probably, which you can run in a very standard Tech 2 Gila fit. It's not going to be anything that's going to be worth the attention of literally anybody.
Which is a crying
bots
shame.
don't need to make good ISK per hour. That's why they're bots, right? So.
Which is a crying shame because it's not like in nullsec where players can regulate the botting at least to a degree. We're just not going to get that in high sec, and I don't think that today's changes are going to change anything as far as botting goes, for better or for worse, because nobody's going to bot the T6s. Have any of you guys had recent experience running the T5s before I go off on my very limited experience?
There's zero chance. I mean, it's too random, and no botter is going to be willing to put the effort into the fits. I mean, you're going to need all green blue fits plus.
Well, it doesn't matter if you do T5s, which I've done. Like, you have to actually manually pilot, and if you're not able to manually pilot, you are going to die like once every like 4 level 5 missions at minimum, if not more. Level 5.
And even if you can do that and you catch a bad roll, you're going to die. So that's the thing. Like with the T5, the 6s are going to be the same way. It's just, you got to get lucky and you got to be pretty skillful and you got to invest the ISK in it. And there's always still the chance that you're going to get fucked by a roll and die anyway. Which is one of the reasons why I haven't done a 5 in a while.
Yeah, 5s
are just losing too many.
I think there is a point where you've put enough ISK into a 5 setup that you can safely run them and you're not going to be destroyed by a bad roll. And I'm talking like A-type involvements, high-grade crystals and stuff in a healer. I imagine CCP's purpose with the T6s is there is no fit that can 100% safely run them. You will die at some point. If that's their thought behind it, then it sounds like a good idea to me, because that was the point of Abyssal content in the first place, at least the high tier stuff.
Well, there always has to be some kind of risk that you're going to die. Otherwise, it's not fun. I mean, this is a game where you get the shakes and you get nervous and you're worried about stuff. If you don't feel that, then the game design is not working.
Well, the people who industrialize the running of T4s and T5s, they're not doing it to have fun. Some of them, I'm sure, are, but I imagine the majority of them are doing it as a means to an end, grinding the ISK, the same reason I do PvE. I hate PvE. I'm not doing it because I enjoy it.
Well, that's one of the things about Abyssal content, though. Compared to much of the other PvE in the game, it is actually moderately entertaining and keeps you focused, and it's interesting, and you have to manually pilot, and there's some challenge to it, right? So it's not quite like just mindlessly farming sanctums. It does, have some interestingness to it, which can make it entertaining and fun.
That's very true. I don't know if you guys have ever done the triple frigate stuff, but the streamers make that look quite easy. I've done some. Granted, I was in quite cheap fits for what I was trying to do, but I tried to do some T5s and Hawks, and it was not easy. Those things are quite tricky. It's not something you can AFK, which definitely a good thing. And I imagine T6s. And I think another important thing to point out is CCP's announcement that all Abyssal sites can now be run in groups of 2s with destroyers, which I think is a great idea. There's going to be a lot of interesting fits coming out of that, hopefully.
But so all of the sites can be run in 2s?
I believe they said all of them can be run with 2 destroyers, which I'm not sure if they're including Tech 3 destroyers with that, because they don't allow T3 cruisers in Abyssal sites.
So on CCP's stream this afternoon, Torvald and CCP Trashband, I believe it was, we're
Yep.
running them in Jackdaws. So you
Oh,
definitely
was that the Trashy Tuesday stream? Oh, okay. Just making sure that that's the
Is
stream that I
the-
thought it was.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
the
a point
stream
of
that ripped
contention.
off our Open Comms Wash Walk Wednesday. They ripped that off.
Do you guys even
So,
do Wash
I'm
Walk
upset
Wednesday
about that.
anymore?
We did until Dirk had work stuff, so he couldn't do it.
Dirk works? I thought he was like 70.
He just turned 50. You are such an obnoxious young man.
What do you?
So
Okay,
mean to
Boomer.
people.
So,
Rain,
anyways,
he's making a real life attacks again.
leave
Make him
Rain
stop.
out of this.
She is the adult in the room here, so I have to run to her and tattle when you're bad.
That's fine. You can do that. Anyways, so I wanna kind of go back to this the modules
Wait,
now that can
Did
be.
Briss just call me old?
I said you're
Yep.
the
Pretty much,
adult.
yeah,
You
that's
don't
pretty
have
much
to
what
be
he said.
old
He
to
called
be
you
an
Yeah,
old.
adult.
he did.
Oh, okay.
Really old, I think is what he said.
You said you were wearing the old lady boomers.
Okay, Boomer. Anyways, so
Bloomer, you mean?
the new
What?
modules that can be. I like the word enchanted, but the word is abyssal.
What the
Abyssally.
fuck?
Abyssally
What are you
mod.
doing?
What is the word then? Is it abyssally
Abyssal
modified?
roll.
Just
Mutated.
roll it. You're rolling it.
Item
Okay.
synced.
All right.
It's an item
So
See
sync.
me
Dear
rolling.
Lord.
so the
They
new
hate
items,
it.
the new items that can be abyssal
Rolled.
rolled
There you go.
are
Enchanted.
heavy warp
Jesus
spray.
Christ.
Leave me
What is this,
alone.
World of Warcraft? Jesus.
Look, I'm just reading off of a Reddit thread, and it said the list of new
Well, there's your
enchantable
problem.
capital mods.
Get
Look,
Oh my
all your
fucking
info
God.
if
from
I
Reddit.
don't
It's
get my
fucking
information from Reddit, where am I gonna get my information from?
Jesus
You
Christ,
Right,
this
fuckers!
one in your red line.
Can-
This is
can I take
literally
over
worse
this
than the meta
stream?
show.
I'm taking
No,
over the stream now.
Yes,
No,
Rain,
Redline, you're
take
not allowed
over.
to talk.
can't take over the
Don't let him
stream.
talk anymore.
Yeah,
So
I'm
Redline,
stop.
you get your
He's not
information from
allowed.
Reddit. You might as well be fucking digging in the garbage for some sort of like relevancy, okay?
or cheese sandwich.
Yeah, thanks, Valkyrsaya.
So anyway, so these
Wow.
abyssal mods that can be rolled, the new capitals. Do you guys know which ones it was? I think I heard is it Siege, and then
was
some of the
It was
Yep.
Siege. It was the
Siege.
active local reps, including the ancillary ones,
Yep.
and then the heavy
Armor
warps.
reps and shield reps.
Yeah, heavy warp scramblers, and I believe the heavy warp disruptors as well. And
Yep.
Yes.
And the
prop
big
mods.
afterburners and the big micro
Yeah.
warp
Prop
drives and the
mods.
big NOS and newts.
I am looking forward to an abyssal rolled drift Naglfar.
Dude.
It's gonna happen. I'm really looking forward to somebody doing that.
As much as I think the ability to mutaplasmid the shield boosters and armor repairs is going to be very interesting, to a degree, I'm not really all that worried or impressed about most of the other modules, to be honest. I don't think the prop mod will really change anything. I don't think the newts are really going to matter all that much. And to be honest, I don't know if any of the modules besides the local reps really
Do you
are all
think
that
the
impactful.
newts
And the
NOS
siege
would
module, I guess, yeah.
Do you think the newts and NOS would matter more on a ship that was bonused for it? Like one of the faction ships?
No.
No.
The thing
I
is,
mean,
the capital newts and capital NOS have the signature radius on them, right?
I can see somebody just rolling an abyssal newt or nos just for shits and giggles to put on their otherwise T2 fit dread, but I can't imagine that that's going to become like a real like big thing. I don't know. I mean, like Billy said before, fleet sizes being what they are, and everybody wanting to ever have the fits all the same. I can't imagine that unless you're some nut job like me who blings out everything just for fun. I can't imagine that
There's
these
a
are
lot
gonna
of people
get
like that.
ton of use.
The
There
sort
are
of
a lot
people
of
who
people like that.
Maybe.
who YOLO drop their active tank fit horde dreads for self defense. The sort of people who drop their dreads in G Magic and those sorts of places. I imagine we'll see some abyssal rolled stuff dying.
So
Like-
Bunny, you I don't know if you're here with us still. Are you?
Kind of.
Okay. You're in the Windy City. So what do you think about these modules, their new ability to be rolled abyssally? Do you think that's gonna make a difference in like capital fights at all? Maybe like Haw
No,
fights too?
No, I don't. Not at all. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my answers down short because I'm very loud to talk right now.
Yeah, you're kind of robotic too. I'll stop asking you questions until you're back in front of your computer. My bad.
Well,
So
amen,
basically,
Lee.
are we just kind of in agreement that these new things, these new modules are just most of them are kind of meh, except for the
I
rippers?
don't think they're gonna.
They
I don't
have
think they're meh. I
no,
just
they
think
have niche uses.
it's just
I-
going to be another way of parting fools from their money, which is good because those of us who like to do this stuff, we have too much money and we should spend it on dumb things like
I can
bricking
yeah.
capital mods.
I can give you niche uses for most of these off the top of my head, besides the afterburner. That's the only one I can't think of a niche use for. The rest, I could give you applications where they're going to be good in PvP.
It is an excellent
Well, I can give you a
item
niche use for
thing.
the afterburner too, right? Like throw it on a revenant, and off you
Sounds-
go. You're going to the
There you
races.
go.
Just
Yeah,
about to
that's true.
say
There you go. I didn't think of that.
1,000
Well,
MN revenants.
Well, with the amount of items
1,000
out there
meters,
and
second.
Eve, if we're able to, well, get some of them gone by getting them bricked, that's an item sink. And when items start sinking, prices go up and proliferation is less, which is why a lot of the Dead Space modules have risen in price ever since the Abyssal MUTAPLASMIDs came out. So I'd say it's good to remove some of these items from the economy and the game itself.
well, isn't that neat, Rich?
Anybody else hear crickets?
Wow,
No, I'm
killed the
just I'm
conversation.
looking at the. You didn't kill the conversation. I'm just looking at the actual changes, the stats for the siege modules. It's a kind of a nice variety here of stats. They've got the armor repair and shield booster amount bonus, duration bonus, I guess an all damage bonus, but only 1% one way or the other. That seems kind of meh.
It's on par with other abyssal damage rolls. It makes sense to be so low.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to think when you're putting that on a module that's going onto a capital ship, though, there's got to be
Yep.
some. They got to make it worth the risk, right? Because you could
There
brick
is
it.
the shield boost is worth the risk. Like the main things that these are going to be rolled
2%?
for. It's like
But this-
20% on the boost.
But
isn't
this
it?
is the thing. They're no officer mods to fill those slots. So there's no high end to measure it off of. So they can't make it too crazy or else, it's
I
going to
think-
become like a big thing.
Yeah, I think these are reasonable. Like it's like 10 to 20% for the shield boost, isn't it? And the armor repair.
Well, it's 20% and 10% at best roll. So 20% boost amount and 10% duration.
That's a
pretty
lot.
good.
So that's
Yeah,
like
it is.
a lot.
It's a shit ton.
32% or something. Like
That's a
ability
lot.
to, if you're rolling for perfect, that's a
That's
that's a
officer
massive
mod
amount
level
of tank.
improvement.
Combine that with links and
over
drugs.
T2.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
you can get a like logger, well not a logger, but like a Cayman or something like that up into like the 120 range pretty comfortably with something like that.
You're definitely underestimating the impact that fitting is going to have on these things. So, for example, the fitting on the newts. I have a really nice newt Rorqual fit that's going to love some mutated newts. Like you can fit like 4 or 5 on a Rorq normally, and you'd be able to squeeze on 6 or maybe 7. This changed, so there's your niche use for the newts. Nozzes, I can't really think of one, I'll be honest. Nobody really fits capital Nozzes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a what's the afterburner modification to the fitting, like CPU and power wise?
CPU and grid and speed and one other thing.
Oh,
Of center power, because if
usually
you
activation
recall,
cost.
that Titan
you-
fit, right? Like the avatar fit. You need to fit a meta afterburner because you don't have the fitting for a T2. Is that what you're thinking of, Bill? Sorry, I interrupted
All
you.
avatars
No,
have problems.
I
with
was
fitting,
actually-
so.
I was actually thinking of that meme fucking Madden that you used to be able to do where you could throw on capital afterburner like 2 or 3 years ago.
I think they may have restricted cap mods to only be fit on capital ships. I think they added that as a hard rule. I've double checked that though.
I haven't like checked it or anything like that.
No,
It
since
is a
then,
hard
so-
rule now.
Okay.
I tried to fit up a capital shield booster paladin and it wouldn't let me. I was very sad.
Yeah, and B52 Phoenixes will definitely enjoy the siege mod. That'll be probably one of the main.
And the local rep
uses
too. Yep. Don't like that.
So anywhere that dreads are used in small group, basically where the group is small enough that the dread or the fax is active tanked, they're going to see use, which is not too much nowadays. You'll see them in low sec and you'll see them in small nullsec groups with the structure bashing that's been going on for the war. So they're about as niche as current Abyssal mods. I don't really see them as pointless. Like, you can call them pointless if you'd call the current subcap Abyssal mods pointless, I guess.
Well, no, I wouldn't call them pointless. I was just really more questioning whether there was a point. Because I personally, according to most people, I don't even play EVE Online anymore. I'm just a talk show Discord FC, which is fine. So I don't really use Abyssal stuff. So when I'm asking, I'm genuinely curious. Like if
Honestly,
there's...
neither do I. For most people, they have this one cap that's like their like favorite cap, and it's their sort of autism chariot, and that's like because a lot of like the same way that a lot of nano gangers these days have their like 5 bill interceptor or whatever that they've abyssal walled to hell, and it'll just be the same thing with these, except it'll be like your favorite cap that's abyssal modified or whatever. So yeah, they'll see use. There'll be enough demand that the sites are worth running, I reckon.
I have a Nurgle that's that way, and I have a Leshak that's that way.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The Leshak, anything Triglavian is usually like that. Lots of interceptors, the odd Orthrus, that sort of thing.
I feel like this will buff the Sinatra a little bit. Some people who have been, just holding them inside their station.
Sinatra is kind of off the deep end, unfortunately, the same way the faction caps are, where the applications where you could use them without dying don't really exist anymore thanks to Surgical Strike, which is a shame because Sinatra is like a revelation but better now with the buff.
If they could
It
get the
is-
price
takes a
down
while.
another 5 or 6 bill on them, they
Yeah.
actually have a
Like, I'm afraid to undock mine because it's just a big target, even though it's better damage and everything.
Yeah, I don't blame
But
you.
even
It's
with even with a
everything, man.
Titan pod in, I can only get like 680 HP.
Well,
that
the thing
means
is, it's
I'll
important
be
to
dead
remember,
pretty
it's
quick.
not like it does that much more damage because you actually have
Yeah,
to ramp,
you gotta
right?
you gotta sit there. You gotta sit there.
And anytime you're going to use it, Sinatra, it's not like you're going to get not be the primary target kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is why.
There you go.
Which is why the applications. Sorry, go ahead.
It's my favorite suitcase.
There is kind of the interesting ability to like ramp up out of siege, and then once you're in like halfway through ramp, you can go into siege. Trying to bait fire before you go into siege. So there's some interesting options in the way you play.
That
with
is true. That's
That
why I
one.
always end up dropping effects with my Zern if I use it, which I've used it one time.
We would.
Did you kill your target?
We took.
It was a boss, I think so.
Good job.
I think it was Stronted. I don't think I killed it. But anyway.
All right. Well,
Flash it light show.
That's the Abyssal stuff, right? Not a huge
There you
update.
go. Abyssal stuff.
That's the Abyssal stuff. It's
You
done.
guys, there was a ton of good stuff in the updates today. In the just regular updates.
Oh, the Fleet Finder changes. Somebody tell, I think it was
Yeah.
Karga. Somebody tell Karga that those are the best changes I've seen all year, please. Like, I love the Fleet Finder changes.
No, there was a different one. I have to find it. I remember
We got
seeing
red dot fixes too.
Red dot.
I didn't see them.
What got
We
fixed
do,
about
what?
the red dot?
They fixed a bunch of bugs that were making the red dot even more cancer than it already is.
Oh, thank God for that.
There were bugs with the red dot. Can you imagine?
I mean, they actually fixed bugs for once?
They fixed bugs.
The amount of times I've been notified for modules that I just put in my hangar because I just took them off my ship.
Like, well, exactly. If you have your cargo open, it's not going to show the red dot. And the whole, I just put something in my cargo and then I undocked and then all the red dots appear. That's fixed.
Brilliant. That was my main critique.
They still do the red dot. The red dot in the hangar when I change my ship to tell me my pod is a new item or some shit.
I don't think so. I think they fixed that too. I think that was part of the fix. But anyway, it sucks. I don't like it. I still want to toggle, but at least they made it a little less bad. And I know that's turd polishing, but at this point I'll take it until we get a toggle.
You polish enough of the turd away that I can't smell it anymore, to be fair. I'm okay with this.
It's still there. It just doesn't stink as bad.
Yeah.
So I think my number one favorite change from today is the ability to set a squad or wing as default. That is amazing.
I have lost fleets to that in the past. I have a designated alt that I log in to take squad command, which is just the most frustrating thing.
And then I think the second best change is that they finally fixed the inverted decal on the Gecko.
I've been waiting for that for a
I didn't
long
even
time
see
now.
that one.
I cannot believe it has taken them this long to fix the inverted decal on the gecko, and
I didn't even see that.
Well, how
I
long
just-
does how long
I
has
have
What
that
to
is
been
the
bothering
art
you?
team doing? Hello?
How
Oh,
long has that been
God.
bothering you?
It's
Ed?
Like
How many
50
years?
artists.
They just created a whole new like PVE content or anything. They
Look,
have
it's
nothing better to
been
do.
bothering me for at least the last 3 minutes. Okay,
I
so
was about to say, because when did you submit a bug report for that?
I just am laughing because I didn't even know that was a thing. So
Since
that's
when
No,
did
it's
you
not
use
like-
geckos?
right, I just love.
I use
I
geckos
love
all the time.
I love that they go into a lot of detail with their notes, even some of the littlest things, like who would zoom in on a gecko and see the decal and say, "Huh, that shit's inverted. That's not right."
A lot of people bug
These
report
are
dumb
Eve
stuff.
players.
Like,
Come on.
I know.
I'll tell you what, Redline. I logged in today and I walked to the Fort Knox Memorial Inn at home, and I noticed that it was pointing in the wrong direction. You bet I bug reported that shit.
What do you mean the wrong direction?
I mean, it wasn't facing towards the sun. Our keepstar used to face the sun.
Wait,
So
what
the
is
monument
what is
Used
the
to.
monument?
Did you just report that to CCP to get
Yeah.
convince them it's a bug so you can get them to realign it for
I
you?
want them to. So no, because there is a wreck. There is a keepstar wreck in Rage in Hard Knocks Home, which is a memorial to the keepstar that Init killed back in 2018, and it's not pointing in the direction that the old keepstar used to point. So I bug reported it because that's a bug. Please realign it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So
I want it
speaking
pet
of things Init is doing, what the fuck happened to Fountain, Frisk?
I thought you were going to swear.
I think they were invading Horde, right?
What do you mean?
Oh.
It was my impression that Fountain is a floodplain, so I just assumed that
It was a
Nobody
Horde's going to
fortress.
let us take it.
Hordes never lived there. Panfam has
Of
never
course
been
they
in
did.
Fountain.
They always lived there. They always lived there.
We have
I don't
never
know.
been in Fountain.
I'm
That's
looking
not
at the
true. Look at
last
Dotland.
week on Dotland. Yeah, man.
So anyway, Fountain's got a rash.
Where
But
have I
look, I
heard
mean,
that
come on.
before?
Did you see that? Did you see that? I mean, let me pull up the timer board here. There's like 79 timers, and they all come out right around the same time. There's no way anybody is going to hit all of these timers at the same time. This is just trolling.
Can we
It's
just
just
reflect on that nonchalant it's got a rash comment that Brian's just made?
It looks a lot like the rash that Paragon Soul had. I wonder if it'll heal up just as quickly.
Well, to be fair, it's unlikely it will because Horde's not going to defend it, and Initiative's called all night ops for the next 2 days to make sure that they burn it all down. So,
God damn
Hey,
it!
you
I
know
was
what?
literally
Effort
just
in.
about to leak that. You
We
son of a
can
bitch.
be just as crazy, wacky, stay up late, chugging monsters to Tosis everything as Brave can. So
Okay,
If you
but
do that,
Speaking
you
of-
might get a rash.
Speaking of
Aquarius though.
toasters,
here's the question though: are you guys going to re-iHub it?
I have no idea. I hope so, because I think that would be funny. And if we just go back and forth every other week, who's gonna be
Well, it won't be
Melting
every other
Fountain,
week.
that would
We
be
would absolutely
hilarious.
let you guys like pretend to live there again for a month before we burn it all down again. I
We've
actually
never
don't
lived
think.
there. I live in
can
Delve.
Well, you live in Delve now because
I
you've been
live in
kicked out of
Delve.
Fountain.
Go
My
ahead.
point is
Go
more
ahead,
so
It's
that
my
like
home.
I'm very curious as to if you guys would actually re-iHub it because it's kind of actually probably opens up a very nice kind of morale killer opportunity for us to purge it again. Kind of like that, like let them rebuild it, then we can burn it down again, and you know I
then
would be surprised if they re-hubbed it.
And then they
Can I
can go
give a
back
sh-
to sleeping on the couch with Mitani in his trailer park.
That sounds
Can
like
I give
fun.
a shout out about Entosis warfare bullshit? So today there was an iHub that came out in Aquarius, and I was like, oh, I might as well go watch to see if something happens. It was a French Connection iHub, so I really didn't expect anyone to be fighting over it, either attackers or defenders. But the guy who runs the Lumio Corp, right? He's neutral to PanFam, and he was out there
Lumio!
like quad boxing a bunch of all the iHubs. It was literally every system was just him. Like there was maybe one Goon guy, which
You
Goon
didn't
can't
heard the
defensively in
last.
Tosis. Yeah. And so he single-handedly took down this iHub in Quirius. He didn't put another one down as far as I could tell. And then he started to structure bash before he said it was a good fight, but before like Goons gave him a good fight. And so I just want to say shout out to him because that was like my entertainment for the night is watching this like I was like, and Tosis thing is boring. And then this guy's out here multi-boxing in Tosis and single-handedly winning like the iHub for himself. I was impressed.
Well, at the moment, I mean, a lot of these timers are just not being monitored, right? Nobody's particularly interested in ADM1 level iHubs, and
You should pay
obviously,
him, Billy. You should pay him to do this. I
I'm
bet he
pretty
Pay him
would
for
sure
do
he
what?
it.
dropped a TCU.
For
'cause I thought I
Intosising.
saw it on Dotwing.
He did,
It
yeah.
maybe.
I
I didn't
think
see him drop an
Lumio.
iHub tonight.
I think Lumio has a at least one system in space currently.
I'm
Now I
pretty
have
sure
to
he's
check.
got that one system in Quirius that he was messing around that I'm pretty sure he did.
Lumio
So-
will be the one that take 1DQ.
That if anybody takes it, it'll be Lumio. I can see
It
that.
it has to be. It can't not be.
I
Let me
did
see.
hear that we might drop a keep star in IGE. Just saying.
Again,
I would bet big money. Actually, I'll bet you 5 billion is you guys won't drop into the Keepstar on IG right now. You want to take that bet, Brisk?
No, I don't have 5
No,
billion.
I didn't think so either. Called on the bull.
Did you say you don't have 5 bill?
Brisk has got way more than 5 bill.
no.
But he knows just as well as everybody else they ain't dropping no fucking Keepstars in IGE.
Well, exactly. Why would we drop a keep star in a system we never lived in? Come on.
The Lumio Corp held UVHO TAC F in Aquarius from August 28th until today, when it was lost to the French connection.
This is why Lumio's back for revenge.
You
Bless
didn't
his heart.
heard the last of Lumio. You didn't. So, anyways, I kind of want to jump into this war shit because there's been some movement, and now things are a little bit closer to home. And I want to take this to Bill. Objectively, what do you think the next month looks like for you?
I think it's going to be a month of each other discovering or searching for a weakness, pretty much.
Expensive movement. A bowel movement.
I mean, you know, it's going to be.
Come on, man.
Once it happens, it's going to it'll happen. Like everything all in one fucking system big fight. It'll probably be over like a fucking Warkwool mining in a belt somewhere too. But you know, until that point, it's really just every man's guess. I don't like to make guesses, honestly, about what happens.
Well, that sucks. Making guesses about what happens is probably one of the most fun things to do.
You want my hot take, Redline?
Yeah, let's hit us with your hot take, Rain. I'm gonna eat a taco.
All right, you eat the taco. Hopefully you mute yourself so stream doesn't hear you chewing.
Yeah, dick.
But but anyway, so I don't know if folks are aware, but PanFam has moved since what was it, Friday with the last YTAC2 Keepstar. So I think we're right on the edge of Quirius. So my guess is PanFam's gonna hit Quirius, and then Legacy will either hit Quirius or shift down to period basis. And it's just gonna be similar to what we saw in the past, the two pronged sort of attack into the Quirius and period basis areas. My guess is with the progress has been made, more focus will be on Quirius. And at the same time, we already know Imperium is going to go for test, or Legacy specifically test, maybe Brave. And so therefore they'll shift everything to try and fight them. And then it's just going to be a bunch of shit ton of fucking iHub timers that nobody cares about and structure grinding, which everyone hates. And we're all going to cry about something super battles or whatever and just shitpost a bunch.
So are you guys going after Aquarius because Tess couldn't do it?
No, because we already took Fountain. That's why we're shifting.
Yeah, and they can't do Aquarius, so you'll be doing Aquarius now since they couldn't
Well,
do it.
it's easier
Well,
to.
in all reality, we're going to do queries together because
Oh, okay.
certainly Tess can't do it on her own.
Okay.
You and
fair.
me, and me and you. I fucked
Fair.
up.
Yeah.
Well, implying that Test, which is half the size of Goons, let alone the Imperium, was ever going to be able to take Aquarius on her
Oh.
own is kind of like a, what do they call it? Straw man? Or I can't remember the precise term.
So you were saying
Lumio
that you
took
were.
Legacy has
Aquarius.
the same numbers as we do, don't you guys?
Say again, sorry?
I thought Legacy had the same numbers we had. I didn't think it was that.
Yeah, Legacy does
Big
when
difference.
you combine all of Legacy in terms of like pilots on Dotland. When you compare active pilots, the Imperium's still bigger.
That would
That's
not
what she
surprise me
said
at all.
too.
And certainly on your side of the regional border, you know, it's never going to be a situation where we're going to be able to handle that with at least some capital / super capital support.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that Rain's 2-prong attack is really like a prong and a half then.
No, what I'm saying is that Rain's 2-prong attack might be one big ass prong coming straight for you guys' fucking ass.
So it's more like a spoon attack then.
Sure.
All right, that's fair.
Or a really bent fork.
Bent fork.
I
Spork.
prefer the
Maybe it's a
term-
chopstick.
I think it's more like a knife driving straight into the heart of your entire alliance.
What you need to
Your
understand
Your
is
parents call
there
your
is no
parents will let you
spoon.
call it a knife, but it's really just a letter opener. But I'm sorry.
No, it's a
trident.
Yeah, but it's sharp, okay?
fork
It's
pierced
sharp.
in one
kind of.
eye.
It's like a spork.
Trident.
Spork.
Sporks aren't
Yeah.
sharp.
The
I have
spork
a
is like
They
the
titanium
can be,
latest invention
right?
in-
Shut your
in-
mouth.
fucking
Sporks
can
are
be.
great. They are sharp.
How'd you make it sharp?
Well,
Sharpen
So it can be a
Was it-
knife, a fork, and a spoon.
Yeah,
Step
the
one,
the
scissors.
side is sharp, so you don't have to use a knife to cut.
Swiss Army spork. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Well, you see, Fountain is like an eye
Are
of
we
the
done with the
Imperium.
content now? We can talk about sporks.
No.
This is-
Fountain
This
is
is
like
all
the eye of
relevant,
the
right?
Imperium, and then you have Quirius, which is probably going to be the arms, and now you have
Wait,
the leg.
Rich.
Yeah.
Drayden says they let you have sporks in jail, so they can't be that sharp. Checkmate.
They're pointy though.
Yeah,
Sure.
but that's he takes
Those
he
sporks
takes
are-
the
know?
spork,
But they're not the
and then
only
he
sporks ever
files it
created.
down on the concrete, and he makes a shank.
All right, gang,
There you
for
go.
the next 5 minutes, this show is about
Wouldn't it be a
sporks.
shork?
So
See,
if you came
the
for
reason
Eve
we talk about
content,
sporks,
enjoy the sport
sporks, that's
content.
the right word. It's sporks. Is I wasn't gonna get all fuckered up,
It's
but
a
you guys
spank.
bored the shit out of me earlier, and I had to fucking
I
get
know
high.
the
So
spank.
Sorry, Rich, you can
Did
carry
he
on.
just say all fuckered up?
I did say all fuckered up. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Seto, what happened with the
Oh,
Keepstein
no.
9UI? You didn't have any idea what happened? Those dreads and that recon were completely fresh. They were not even 5 days old.
Hey, Seto.
Bill, long time no see, buddy.
How you been, bro?
When I keep started day, we were
What was
actually
that? He just asked a question. What's the answer? 14?
to the what?
I don't know.
That was
Or plus two.
sporks.
3.
Do you want
Sporks
to talk
have
about the
3
Keepstar, or-
spines. Or
I want
pines
to
or
talk
whatever.
about Redline defiling my nickname. That's what I want to talk about.
What are you talking about?
You defiled my nickname. You crossed the fountain out of Fountain Frank. It was always supposed to be ironic since we never lived there. That's why
I
it's
think-
funny.
You're gonna call yourself Delve Dan next?
No, because I lived there. It's only
Delve
funny if you
Dan.
don't live there.
Frisk, where do you live right now?
I live in 1DQ.
So what do you want us to call us? 1DQ Dick?
No, I want to be Fountain Frank because that's the joke.
When you guys lose Quirius, it can be Quirius Quincy.
No.
Well, clearly.
no.
Okay, hold on a second. Clearly,
If we
Brisk
lose
cannot
Delve,
afford
then
the
he'll
5
Delve
billion
Dan.
bet
Yeah.
with Billy. He lacks the 5 billion, so maybe we should call him Poor
You
Paul.
could call me Poor Frank.
Poor man. I like it.
Guys, I'm telling you
Yeah, there
right
we
now,
go.
this is it.
Poor
Oh,
man.
God, guys. We got kicked out of Fountain and I have no ISK. Please send me a lot of ISK so I could, like,
Well, let's
live.
be clear here,
I'm
Brisk.
living
Nobody's
in a
saying you guys don't have
fucking,
ISK. We're
box.
just saying that, like, you guys got your ass handed to you in Fountain. You
I'm
ran
living
to
in a
Delve, and now
box
you're
down by
gonna
the
lose Delve
river.
soon too.
Yeah,
I'll fully admit we got our ass handed to us in Delve.
Come on, send me some ISK, please. I'm poor.
Hello, Bill. How are you, buddy?
You know, man,
I mean,
just keeping it
Delve-
real.
Delve-
Fucking G'd up from the feet
We
up.
got
you
our
know.
ass handed to us.
Mhm.
And it's fucking
How about
fact.
It's true.
yourself?
It
I
happened.
just got back from my
That's
workout.
true.
I showered. Redline
About-
bitched
we
at
got
me
our ass
to
handed
come
to us. We
on.
got kicked out.
Shut up,
it's
you
a
fucking
fact.
small ganger.
Dude, Redline
Dude,
is
don't call me
such
a
a
small
bully.
ganger.
Why?
internet
Why?
bully.
Why don't I call you a small ganger? You run a
Because
small
you're being,
gang.
Because I'm
stop
not a
being
small. No, I
toxic to
don't.
people.
Yeah, you
I
I'm a
do.
do.
medium.
Fine.
I'm a medium gang. All right.
No, there's no such thing as a medium game. There is small and there is large.
No,
And you are
I'm
not
medium
large,
gang.
so you must
Isn't
be
it-
small.
Isn't it average
Your
gang?
mom says I'm Are large, you but you know it's a inquiring different story.
It's not the size that matters, it's how you use it.
Frisk, what was the term I gave to like Seto's size group? Heavy mercs or something like that?
Heavy.
I think you
mercs?
said
What?
heavy mercs, yes.
Heavy
mercs.
mercs?
Why are we
Thick.
heavy?
Thick
Heavy
mercs,
pirate
yeah,
mercs.
I was expecting that.
Oh
Billy, are you
Lord, he
calling me
thick.
fat?
Lordy
Badass.
coming.
Fat bottom
He's a
mercs.
heckin' chonker.
Wow.
Heavy mercs. I
Chonky
like that.
mercs.
I'm gonna put that in the
Fat
line
bottom
description. Heavy mercs.
That's
Well,
it,
we,
chonky
we,
mercs.
we were trying to categorize
Chonky
them,
Chonky mercs.
and you know, low sec groups generally like they either run heavy or they don't, right? When I say heavy, I mean usually like capital strength, and usually to some degree they're either mercenary based or pirate based. So That was kind
That's
of the
fair.
classification.
Heavy
we
merc sounds
came up
good.
with on the
Besides, it
fly.
makes me think I'm fat.
Well,
But
There
you
you go.
know,
Well, are you fat?
No,
I
thick.
mean, I'm
Doing 'em.
working on. I'm
Shut
working
up,
on
I
my
got
Big
thick.
physique.
boned.
I'm
If the
big
answer's
boned.
not no, then you're fat.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not fat. I'm big boned.
He's
You are
big
100%
boned.
correct,
What
Philip.
Hey,
the
you
is
you
fuck,
guys
dude?
are all in the channel. I was at the gym today. All
Pleasantly
right.
plump.
I played football in high school. I took 2 years off to enjoy college and boozing, so I did gain a little bit of weight. But now, I'm back hitting the gym. I'm getting back in my physique. 6'5", 240.
When
Looking
Yeah,
you
good,
you
feeling good.
So
You
when
should
you
post
say
thick, girl.
getting
progress
back,
pictures.
it means you're
Post
getting
progress
back from a
pictures.
place of fat.
Man,
Yes,
I haven't been 240 since I was in college. I miss that.
it's
Oh
called
man.
big boned.
I'm sure
Oh,
your mom tells you that every time you need a boost, but that's
She
okay.
does,
Too
man.
true.
She does. Hey, yeah, fun fact: I drank so much milk when I was younger. I never broke a bone in my body. Never.
Vitamin D
20,
actually
20
contributes.
years of
nice.
existence.
Well,
That's actually
I
probably not
never
the
broke a
reason.
bone either.
well done,
Weird.
dude.
Thanks.
Vitamin D actually
Redline,
contributes
did
to
you
My
the
miss
ankle
me?
up, and my
calcification
knee
of
up, but I
I
didn't
did,
bones and
yeah.
stuff
I've
like that.
missed
But
you the whole time you've been gone. Of course I missed you. What kind of fucking
Sorry,
question
dude.
is that?
Hey, man.
Is
College
water
started.
wet?
College started. I had space I had to take. I've just been really busy.
They kind of
Busy
just
waiting to
gave
hold
it
your
to
hand.
you, though. So I mean,
That's fair.
whatever.
But it's not easy. Logi work sucks. I get why all the Logi guys always hated their lives.
Yeah, exactly. Where'd Bunny go? What the fuck?
Well, speaking
just-
of hating their lives, what about these new changes, huh? You're gonna have to
We
get
already
caught in every one of those damn things.
we already
They're gonna hate
talked
their
about
lives
the
even
new
more.
changes. Come on, we.
Good.
Oh, you were talking
So
about
anyway,
fours?
so
Brisk,
anyway,
yes, Brisk, yes. Watch them.
Seto, what do you know
There you
about the
go.
9UI Keepstar scoop failure?
Oh, cool. I didn't miss
We
anything.
actually formed a cover. I got on
You
free
didn't
dread
miss
kills.
anything at all, buddy.
We
I don't know what's
we
happening anymore. This show's
we
off the
covered the
fucking rails, y'all.
Doing
we covered
fine.
we
All
covered
it took
we
was a
formed to
setup.
cover it. Yeah, I know, man. Sorry. I'll go if I need to. I can
No,
leave.
you're great. You're great,
Hey.
dude.
No, this is good. I just all of a sudden you coming here
Hog
and now
champ.
Rich is freaking out.
yeah,
Keep
go
holy,
dogs.
too.
Go dogs.
It's like somebody said
Hey,
RMT or
roll
something.
tide, bitch. Not go dogs.
Anyway, do you know
Damn.
who was responsible for trying to scoop it and the dreads that came in?
No,
Was that
no.
Cable or who is it?
It looks like
Aw.
cable setup, but it wasn't us. It wasn't anyone that I know. I mean, I got free
Well,
dread kills out of it, and
Cable's not
I-
afraid to lose dreads, so I don't see why Cable would bother to roll new alts for it.
Yeah, that's what puzzles me. These are fresh rolled alts. This is whoever did this, well, clearly planned for success.
I don't know. I don't
Did
really
they
care either.
succeed?
So what exactly happened, Rich? They Keepstar and Anchor
I-
dreads
I-
dropped on the freighter? What?
So here's what happened.
Anchored, a completely clean 5-day rapier uncloaked, as well as the Providence came in. Looks like the
How did the
four
Providence come in? Login or warp
hold
in?
on. I was on grid. Hold on, because I was formed to help cover it and make sure Severance picked it up. And so we're sitting there in Max on a Bridge Titan. Severance warps their mutant fleet of like 40 people over. Their freighter is still on the Fortizar, bumping off of something. They didn't let it align, and so the Keepstar unanchors into like its little container or whatever. A neutral freighter lands on it, picks it up. The mutant fleet tackles it. We bridge in, and as soon as the freighter gets tackled, they just instantly start shooting it instead of like, I don't know, dropping a jammer and trying to figure something out about it. I don't know. They
Well, there's
shoot it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the guy wanted to fucking bounty it. I don't know. I just wouldn't kill it straight off the bat, in my eyes. But that's just me. I mean, it's their Keepstar, but the neutral freighter had a log off spot directly on the Keepstar, I think, because he just warped directly in on it from Dead Space, and so I think. Yeah, we bridged in, the freighter died, and then as the freighter was almost dead, like the rapier uncloaked, lit a Sino, 4 dreads came in and killed the wreck, and then tried to alpha max. It was just, I think the dreads were there just to deny loot. I don't know. I got free dread kills out of it. I was happy.
What happened to the Panther, the CVA Panther there?
He was docked in the Keepstar and then unanchored, and he got kicked out.
Oh, unlucky.
Yeah,
So you're saying that it was a Goon Keepstar?
I don't.
No, nobody's fucking saying that.
Oof.
It was a horde Keepstar.
I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I got free dread kills out of it. I mean, I offered to buy that Keepstar before, like, who was it? Or a couple guys in my alliance offered to buy it, and then they never sold it. but they just wanted to anchor it. And then that, like, I think they would have got it if they actually set their freighter up properly instead of it bumping as it was coming on. Like, they had it undocked from something that was 180 from the Keepstar, so it never made it into warp at all. Just sitting there.
And so that's the freighter loss mail that I see. So
That's the neutral
blatantly
freighter.
plastered on.
All those tunes had meme names and were rolled like 4 or 5 days. We were talking about it today in like our command chat. They just looked brand new, and we had a guy watching the Keepstar like for the past 5 days at downtime to see if anyone logged off on it. We didn't see anything, so they must have logged out earlier, or at least the freighter must have logged off there earlier.
If a Providence dies in Providence,
A Providence.
does anyone care?
I was, God damn it, that was way better than what I was about to say.
I mean, hey,
Keepstar.
because if any Titan pilots log in, man, I'm just gonna keep that
So-
exactly where it was, bubble fucked, and just kill Titans.
Seto, a question about unanchoring Keepstars. I'm pretty sure when the Keepstar unanchors the central point, you can't really get to it if you're sat on top of the Keepstar. So there's no way that the freighter could have been logged off on top of the Keepstar in a position to scoop it from the start.
I don't know how it works.
Incorrect, Loris.
Am I incorrect, did you say?
Well, so basically, you can basically predict where the can appearance spot is, like in the center of the Keepstar, and you can log off a freighter there. The freighter will log off between one. When the freighter comes out of landing, it'll land between 1 and like 5 to 6 kilometers off the can.
So it's quite risky.
Well, I mean, you have like a 1 in 5 shot of like basically being on top of the can when you land.
I've never had to scoop a Keepstar, so I don't know. But I mean,
we had one logged off on the 3-Tech F Keepstar when that was an anchoring in Aquarius, and I think our freighter landed like 4 km off the can, but it's 1,500 meters is a long way in a freighter.
Yeah, because I've done other structures, and you're never sat on the structure with them. You
hey
always
Bill,
need to
good
sit up
Redeemer
and walk
kill,
in.
man.
Unanchoring a Keepstar is like
thanks,
one of the
man.
most tedious and fucking stupid things this game has to offer, and the fact that it's so impossible to basically unanchor Keepstars actually one of my main. Well,
because
I literally just
get scooped or killed one way or the other.
Yeah, like I mean, think about like the effort the Imperium put into unanchoring those cloud ring ones, and even in those cases, if somebody had actually put in the effort to log off a freighter on those spots, they still would have had like a 20 to 30% chance of killing the fucking Keepstar.
I still remember us calling fake freighter targets so that nobody would know which freighter actually had the fucking Keepstar in it when we pulled which one down? I guess it was the BTEC D one down.
Oh, you did the fake freighters. That's good.
Crazy. It was
Yeah,
just
like
nuts.
They had
the
like
Imperium-
7 of them.
Put it
Yeah.
together is bullshit.
I'll give the Imperium some credit. They really put a lot of thought into their Keepstar extraction plan, and they got all 3 of their. Well, actually, they got 3 of 4, I guess technically, but I'm not sure if the first one being lost resulted in so much more effort being put in the next 3. But they did a really
the hard one that fucked everything up.
Yeah, the formerly hard one. But they put a ton of effort into making sure they got those next 3, and I'll give them credit. They put a lot of work in, and they got all 3 scoops successfully. But you shouldn't be required to put that level of effort into fucking scooping a Keepstar. Like there should be some way to, I don't know, give yourself an advantage as the person who owns it, basically.
Do you think if they made the timer between like a random 15 minutes or 30 minutes between when you hit on anchor, like 7 days later, but
No, that would be worse.
you think that'd be
No,
well?
that would
You
be-
did the person who anchors it would know, but no one else.
Are we done talking about the war by chance? Because I had something just come up that was really weird to me.
I mean, we haven't even talked about the GTEC M battle. We haven't talked about the ITEC C battle. We haven't talked about the restage to Kara. We haven't talked about the new.
For all that, can
Bunny
I
wants to
ask?
talk about the Horn of Goondor, right?
Yeah, why am I getting fucking old ass emails to about the Horn of Goondor? What the fuck is this nonsense?
We want you to resub your accounts and come fight for us, Bunny.
Did you guys actually send out like a fucking spam email?
Yeah, fucking. I just
Hey,
got one
Bill.
from Director Bot. I didn't know what the fuck it was, so I deleted it, and then I see the same email with the same subject line getting pasted everywhere.
Bill, give me a Titan and I'll fly it for you. I'll fly a Titan.
That's actually kind of crazy. You should make sure to report that as
We'll
spam.
talk about it.
Talk about it. All right. As long as I get to keep the Titan afterwards,
Have you seen this 32 bill Paladin that went down to NPCs today?
Heard about it,
Anytime
yeah.
a paladin dies, I assume it's flown by somebody who has no idea what they're doing.
Well,
Because
it's
they're
a
flying
very
a paladin.
interesting fit. It is a incursion only running fit, and it's 32 billion. It's all pretty much all purple mods, no bastion module, and no armor tank, purely shield tank. It's
My understanding is the guy was quitting the game, so he did that and then lost on the gate.
That
my
seems
understanding
unlikely.
was he was running a incursion with everybody, and then he jumped the gate when he shouldn't have, and they couldn't save him. But he did apparently he did name his ship. If you pop this, I quit. So we'll see what happens next.
So he quits.
I'm not sure.
I think he got debated
I'm not
again.
sure what. I'm not sure what kind of person runs incursions with $425 worth of ship. I don't know how much that increases the speed of things.
Same people who ran Havens with what 1,000.
I question why he has 6 guns, but only 3 crystals loaded.
He has 4 guns and only 3 crystals, you mean?
Was the majority of his fit the reason it was so expensive, or did he like put a bunch of shit in it?
All purples.
His
all
full fit
purple.
is officer fit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's officer guns,
Officer damage mods, officer tracking enhancers, it's about as blingy as blingy can get.
Really? Did you push for this quantum update in the CSM? Or can you say that?
I can say I did not push for it. I am not thrilled with some of the stuff within the quantum update, but
I am also
What do you
skeptical.
not like about it?
I think the prices on a lot of the cores are fucking ridiculous. I think the Keepstar one should be about half. I think the Sotil one should be about a third. I think the Keepstar or the Fortizar, Tatar, and Asbel ones could all take a price reduction. I think the only one that they got the price right on is the fucking what is it, Reitaru? And
No, I think those should have been higher.
What do you think about the mechanic overall, though? Do you think it's dumb, or do you think it warrants something?
I think it's roughly fine in terms of the mechanic itself, in terms of increasing the general value of structures in space and creating a loot dynamic. I think that's roughly okay.
Do you think they should have introduced this before they made the abandonment thing? So then people would have had more loot to get?
No, I don't think that was necessary. I don't think people needed any more loot when the abandonment thing came in, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they're definitely applying some lessons they learned within the abandonment process. There's much longer grace period, which is good. They're being a lot more public about it. They're announcing it a lot earlier. They're giving people time to plan, which is all good. I'm just not a fan of some of the prices. I think it really is just not a smart way to do it, because there's maybe 6 alliances in the game that can kind of really handle that, and then there's a whole lot of alliances that can't. And I think the stresses is going to put on a lot of the small and medium-sized alliances in the game is just not what it should be.
Oh,
you heard it here first, everybody. Test can't afford the update.
Of the 6 alliances in the game that probably can't afford it, Test, Goons, PL, Horde.
I can tell you right now, we're having.
Yeah, you have no fucking
money
structures
now.
though.
And it's great. We don't have any problems with it.
But our RC has the Kamal Keepstar, the YM Keepstar, and a few other Keepstars, and we don't have that kind of is lying around just to throw into cores. So
you better get it.
I can tell you.
So wait, are you saying you agree with me on medium-sized alliances, or are you saying you disagree with me because your alliance that has no structures?
Okay. I agree with you that it's a dumb update. It hurts us.
Seto's not a medium-sized alliance guy. He is a small, chunky alliance guy.
Hey. Hey.
He's a Chode alliance.
Laura, how are you guys going to handle these?
Hey, you're calling me the Chode alliance, Redline? Your mom liked it, so fuck you.
How are we going to handle the cause, Rich?
You leave my mother out of this, and I'll leave this out of your mother, okay?
Because my group is small enough
incredibly easily. Like 85% of Hard Knock structures are personally owned.
You guys trading moms?
The person who owns them will just individually do it when they get a chance.
Personally, I need to put about 5 bill into cause, which is it's a few hours of crabbing. It's not the biggest deal. I'll just put the money aside sometime in the next month.
What about the Hard Knocks main base and as well as the logistics of moving it all?
What
The
main base?
logistics
We
is
blew that up.
The logistics is a non-issue. The Fortizar ones fit in DSTs,
Fair
and
enough.
the cost is like Hard Knocks can afford a few.
Did they
bucks,
fix
like we're
the
not.
wormhole issue?
Yes, they
Yes,
did.
they fixed
they
it.
did.
It was addressed. It was actually pinged to me by Mattel. I found this curious. The really small groups can handle it because it's just opportunistic, one or two things that they can deal with. The larger groups should be able to handle it. They've got vast logistics networks. They can conscript a bunch of their slaves to take care of it. But the
You have a
medium
very
groups, they
interesting
suffer.
What are you talking?
perspective. When you say, are we talking about wormholes here, or are we talking about null groups in general? Groups in general.
All groups in general. Like the medium
Okay.
groups, they're really going to suffer because they don't have the logistics network and the manpower to, but they do have a large amount of structures.
Logistics networks are non-issues because they can all be fit in jump freighters. It's not like the logistics behind this is not going to be the biggest deal unless you're a medium
Logistics,
alliance
it's
with
the ISK.
it's the ISK. Like unless you're like Cones, who actually I think they gave away most of Declan. But they're the group that would have come to mind as somebody that was really hurt by this as far as logistics
The
concerned.
vast majority
Yeah,
of groups in this game that are owning structures, aside from like a few of the high end top ones, this is a lot of fucking money to ask for them to just pony up in a couple months. Like most like alliances that at the medium scale don't have 100 billion ISK just randomly sitting in alliance coffers waiting to be spent on fucking quantum cores.
And
You
if
know,
they do, it's for SRP, and this
well,
is
well,
sucking
exactly.
tons of ISK out of the game that otherwise would be going towards conflict, which is kind of the point behind the whole thing. I mean, look, I'm not sold on this either because I'll tell you flat out, when it comes down to it, I don't think it's going to accomplish the goal that they're looking for. I don't think it's going to incentivize. Well, there were two things they said. They wanted to make everything more risky and provide risk and reward, and you're guaranteed that if you blow something up, you're going to get a kill, more than a kill mail. You'll get this object. But all I see is that this is going to turn into Cable coming and stealing your fucking core every time you try to kill something big. And then at the same time, I don't. There was also the structure spam argument, but that's structure spam is in the eye of the beholder. Is it spam or is it a bunch of citadels in one place that are being used? I just don't see it being. I just don't see it accomplishing the goal that they
did an
wanted to
audit. We're gonna have to set aside 170 bill that we don't have. Like Wrecking Crew as a whole has set aside 170 bill that we don't have sitting on hand because most of it goes to SRP. So like that just delays SRP long term, or it's just someone fronting the IS personally, which happens way more often than it should.
Well,
But,
so on the structure spam thing, Forthlight says in the chat, the goal was to reduce the spam. It sounds a lot of complaining. Sounds like it's going to achieve that goal. Well, no, because the spam is not having a bunch of structures in a system that people are using. It's when somebody, at least in nullsec, it's when somebody goes and drops a bunch of useless structures in your space and says, go clean them up. That's the spam. But if you go into high sec and you see a system that's got a ton of engineering complexes, but they're all being used, that's not spam. That's a living, briving, vibrant community, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if they want to make it more expensive for us to drop structures, okay. I mean, we're not going to stop doing that. If we want to fuck with test or they want to fuck with goons or whatever, we're sitting on thousands of these structures, even if they don't online because we don't put a core in them. It doesn't mean that somebody doesn't have to go clean that stuff up, and that's kind of the point. But on the big stuff, the keep stars and the sodios and stuff, those we don't need an incentive to kill those. Those are strategic assets. You want to kill them. They have an impact on the other team. You're never going to need an incentive to blow one of those up.
Nobody's ever said, "Oh, we can't kill that SOTO." It's like there's no reward for killing
what
that
a waste
SOTO.
of time.
The 100 billion ISKs of fucking SOTO that is all in the fucking rigs that represents their super capital production. Like nobody thinks that way. Like especially on the on the XL structures, this makes zero fucking sense. On the L structures, like sure you could add a couple bill to the fucking Asbel quantum. You could have the Asbel quantum core be a couple bill, and like that might be okay. Maybe 1 or 2 bill in the Tatard Fortizar ones, but Fortizars, like they didn't need this anymore, and like it just doesn't make any sense to me aside from like the medium structures. And that's mostly based on just like the cost issues with medium structures more than anything.
I mean, like I said, I see this as double taxation, which I have a fundamental problem with, and I don't see it accomplishing the goal. I don't think it's going to increase conflict, and I don't think it's
why do you think
it's
they
going to
did
make
it?
structure attacks less. I mean, I think it's part of this austerity campaign. Obviously, they want to suck as much ISK out of the game as they can. They hit the mineral wealth, and we've got a major war going on. Well, we're all sitting, all the big groups are sitting on liquid ISK. So, well, we got to take that too. Here's an excuse. I mean, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist about it, but I feel like part of a lot of these changes are specifically designed to suck as much wealth out of the game as possible, because
Well,
they
they
seem to have
absolutely
gotten
are.
it in their heads
Although
that they
Eagle
think that
still
there's too
costs-
much wealth.
Hack still costs Eagle still costs 200 mil.
Do you think that's going to
Well,
change?
Horde Cormorants cost like 100 mil, right? So there you go.
It was 35 mil, wasn't it?
Fuck's sake! Now it's 100.
I'm
mil.
with Villy here. I have to double all my number, or triple all. My
Okay.
First off,
I think that was well said. You've changed my mind about them, Brisk. That was well said.
Well, and this doesn't even cover the problem of what it's going to do to the fucking high sec economy. Because what you've done is given groups like REC and Black Flag and all of the high sec merc groups that go around killing structures normally right now for profit, you literally just gave them a fucking flamethrower and like I don't know, the ability to like turn ashes into like gold
Well,
or something.
they're gonna get the core. Can they
Sager?
flip that for?
Sager, you here?
Yeah.
Did you
But here's the
hear?
thing.
You hear what he just said?
Honest,
Can
but
you?
I'm
honestly,
hearing big
So
groups.
Sager's a war
merc
decker.
groups.
Talk to
Big
me.
merc groups are gonna get the boost, but the little guy is getting screwed over in the corner.
Correct.
See, the thing is, Sager came at me hard saying this sucks. We hate the structure grind. We don't want this. It's not going to help us out, which makes me think that they really, really like it. And that
Oh.
makes me think that CCP fucked up.
Honestly, the only group I see profiting from this is the 4-time Lost Alliance Black Flag. I know good bash structures for days, and they didn't need the ISK incentive to do it, and they would go do it to hopefully get loot off of it and to just get it done. Like, really, I don't know if you remember, but like Truth during the frat war killed like 150 medium citadels or smaller on like the east or west side of Detroit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that people were doing it without much incentive before.
I'm agreeing
You
with
now just gave them an 800 million ISK incentive for every fucking structure. For some of these guys, that means they're going to make 800 million ISK an hour, like literally on a fucking rampage, because they're going to take out their quad boxless shacks, and they're going to be like, dun da da, and they're just going to go fucking raideroo to raideroo to raideroo to raideroo, because anytime they have meet somebody that can oppose them, they'll say no thanks, we'll pass on this one. But
Right.
like everybody who can't meet like a very low threshold is going to get absolutely fucking destroyed.
One
And there's a
dead
lot of groups
structure
in high
pays
sec
for
who
6
can't
Vortex.
handle 4 Lishaks. Like they have no ability to do that.
Until
And-
that
They
one.
They can't make them.
Here's another question though: can they actually
Security?
flip those cores for IS though? Because I feel like the market will get so saturated, no one will buy them.
They're sold to
I thought
NPC.
I thought it was an
Oh,
NPC buyer who bought him.
Oh, I thought you could only buy them from the NPC. I didn't realize you could sell them back.
Buy them and sell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing. They have set this up so that this is guaranteed ISK, and that's why I feel like, like I said, one structure kill pays for 6 Vortex on a small group, one of the 100 mil Vortex.
But
So
if
there you
you
go.
kill the HQ of the War Decker and they lose all their War Decks for 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks where they don't kill shit.
Yeah, but then if the War Decker's playing smart and only attacking groups with like 10 fucking people, I can tell you what's going to happen. They're just going to have like a fucking field day killing structures.
Well, and they also just do five or 6 decks per headquarters. So they spread them around. So if one dies, it doesn't kill all the decks. So
It does not fix the blanking decking problem. Has been sitting around in the game forever. We've
Right.
been discussing about forever.
Why don't
Correct.
they just make
So-
it to where high security doesn't need them?
Because that wouldn't
Well,
really
no,
be
because
fair,
then
would
that's
it?
treating ISEC differently from the rest of the game. And how do you? I mean,
It's also removing a really important avenue for small groups to like grow and build identity. When you're a small corporation in Eve, like when you've got 5, 10, 15 people, you're recruiting out of the fucking recruitment channel, whatever, things like we have a structure and we do this here and whatever, that's huge for them building their identity. And, their ability to go from shitty mining corp number 2205 to like an actual real corp with some identity is usually helped quite a lot by structures.
But to the point that now like the structures is the dividing line between a starting out newbie small corp and a established corp, because Why would you ever pick up a structure when you can use public structures and you can't get WARRD'd when you don't have any? So it gives all the WARRD changes gave all the little guys a chance to grow up and learn how to run. And now, you know, as soon as they decide, all right, we're ready to go, we think we can do it, they get their first structure, they pay twice as much as they did before, and it instantly has a big target on its back, and they get killed the next week. That's probably pretty demoralizing.
I never got to hear Villy's opinion on this. Speaking of high sec, what do you think about Niarja now going low sec? Bad or good for the game?
For the game, I think it's pretty neutral. I don't think it changes much.
I got fucking AWOX by this update. I don't fucking like it at all. Somebody in my corp smart on my own pod.
Yo, dude, get him kicked. Get him
Give
kicked.
that man a medal.
Here's the thing, though. Like, everyone uses jump freighters anyways. I feel like it wasn't going to affect anything besides,
Well,
like,
once again,
freightering.
you're running under the assumption of a no block, like high tier level player. In that, oh, we'll just use a jump freighter. Well, guess what? Not everybody's got fucking 10 billion ISK and like multiple fucking jump freighters and a sino chain to run those jump freighters and everything else, right? Like some people actually do use fucking freighters and haulers and everything else to get their
And
goods
there was
from here and
like
there.
a legitimate trade, buying stuff cheap in Jita and shipping it to Amar and selling it at a slight markup and making money.
As
people did that.
As Wormhole Corps, we don't just use HiSec for logistics. We use it to get between fights. If we are at home and have a Kaldari HiSec and somebody has Dreads tackled and they have an Amar HiSec, that's a very common situation in Wormhole space where you're rage scanning 2 chains at the same time to find a link between the two. Niarja getting turned into permacamp to nullsec has added like 20 jumps to the majority of the journeys that we take as Wormhole groups. It's been quite a significant change for people like Hard Knocks who are focused on evictions or focused on ganking and needing to connect 2 chains like that. Reverse scanning nullsec to kill super carriers and rock calls, that sort of thing, has all been made harder because HiSec isn't the guaranteed free route that it used to be.
Laura, have you been in Niarja?
I've not. No, it's on. It's on. I've added it to the avoid list on all of my accounts. I'm never going.
Rich, have you been in Niarja?
I got smart bombed by somebody in my own corp by it. Of course I have.
I'm just saying. I was wondering who makes up most of the Niarja gate camp.
It's test, isn't it? It's a lot of test.
We have
what?
Test has a couple guys that are there. We're by no means the majority.
It's a very mixed group of people. Very,
That's why you're
very
not
mixed.
down taking Salve and Quirius?
I
You're
can't
fucking in
believe
HiSec?
this.
I think test.
Technically,
war on, and you guys are camping in HiSec.
Technically, it's nullsec.
It's true. Actually, it's nullsec.
That's a lawyer's quibble.
We're camping Imperium logistics routes in nullsec.
Well, now I have to debate. Well, most of the HiSec holes I roll end up in somewhat Amar space, given the Amar
size of
sovereignty.
domain.
Yes. However, because now I can't go through Niarja, it's awkward. It's awkward. I might actually have to go to Amar for shopping. I might actually also have to talk to some people who stock.
Rich has to talk to people. It's awkward.
I live 7 jumps from Amar because of Pravi, and like the market there is so much more expensive than Jita.
I'm gonna have to give them my shopping list and say, would you kindly ship these to here, please? That'd be great.
Public.
It's only gonna work. It's only getting worse, I should say, right?
And I'm still annoyed that they haven't fixed the autopilot thing.
Have they not fixed that yet?
Nope.
No.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, once they fix it, people will finally stop like just feeding into the camp, which would be great. But they fucking for some reason have not. It's infuriating.
Yeah.
The madness is the people gate camping Niarja, they've somehow managed to crack the less than 2 second warp. Like I got something way below less than 2 seconds, like way below 1.9 even, and I still got caught. I was really chuffed about that.
They live closer to the servers than you do.
Yeah, below 2 seconds, it comes down to luck and server tick, really.
They live closer to the servers than you.
Also,
you got busted by a neighbor. That's what happened.
Yeah, and also you're bad, Rich.
Oh man.
How'd you catch
However, there have been some very interesting DMs sent to my friend who's been gate camping Niarja. Not too pretty, not too generous.
Has he been reporting them all?
Hey.
Yes, he has. It's a lot of.
I want to hear about this Redeemer. Let's talk about this Redeemer.
How'd you kill that Redeemer?
I jumped him off the station. Fucking crypt rocked him straight off.
Did he
I
not?
saw you.
Snatch, baby.
Rocked them.
I saw you in NPC Dell like yesterday. It was a good time.
Yeah, I got another one like that the other day too.
Bill
Is
and
that all you
NPC
do?
Delve is like that's
No,
like
it's
comfort
it's-
food.
it's kind of like my mining, I guess.
By the way, can we talk about these storms? There's one in
Dude, Seto.
Providence.
Seto,
It hasn't
There's
please.
moved.
There's two in Providence right now.
And
What about it?
yeah, and neither of them have moved at all, and it's been about a week and a half.
They've been moving a
there's
little bit. So
Did they
here, let
go
me
down a
pull it up
pipe?
for you.
Because if they
there's a-
go down a
there's a
pipe, then that's
pocket-
gonna come back.
No. There's a like a box in Providence, like near the GFAC 5. It's like a loop, and it just keeps going around the loop. It's stuck in
See,
a fucking loop.
Are you
That's
talking
the
about-
problem.
Are you talking about the electrical, or are you talking about the gamma, or the excuse me?
Hold on, I'm passing through right
Firestorm.
now. I can tell you. This is the electrical.
Yeah, so the electrical should actually move now because it's touching a system that it can move to. Hold on, let me pull it up.
It's so dumb. It's been here for a week and a half. It's fucking annoying.
Is
Yeah,
this the
so
one
that
that doesn't let you
tomorrow-
cloak?
Tomorrow it should move to YWS0, or the next time it moves, it could stick there for a day. But yeah, it's been
This
an
is the one that reduces
HQ.
EM, increases cap, and core
No
and
cloaky.
relic analyzer.
Yeah, so
No,
that's
you
the
can
that's
cloak.
the cloaky
no,
one.
clo-
No,
that's
they
the
cannot
no
work.
cloaky.
They
if
cannot
it's-
work. Yeah.
it's no cloaky.
Okay, Brisk. Fucking sorry.
I know my weather.
I heard that anytime hears somebody complain about it, he makes it stay in one
There's-
area.
There's been a crap ton of Explo bots that have been coming into this pipe now, where the storm is, because the relic sites spawn a lot more. Was
Mhm.
what I've noticed. Like I scan for wormholes, and it's just constant like relic and data sites, and I keep seeing bots come through. We've killed like 4 or 5 bots in the past like 2 days.
Rain is my favorite weatherman.
I mean, I've been tracking these since they came out, yeah. So if you guys want the spreadsheet, I can link it to you. Or if you join the in-game channel, #rain, spelled like my name, storm, one word.
No, I'm just
I've,
not going
I
to
have
support you in
updates.
any way, shape, or form.
I mean, do you want the weather updates or not, Seto? It's going to move.
All I'm
to
saying
Rain-
is,
live.
I
Rain
think it's
to a story.
freaking awesome that somebody
Is it
that
like the
named
weather
themselves Rain is
Hey,
now like the queen
Hey,
of
Rain,
weather.
if I want to check the weather, I can just undock. I live in Provi, all right?
Yeah, well, you
Just hold
clearly
your
don't
hand
know
out the
where it's going.
window.
All you have to do is complain.
I don't need a forecaster on my
Is there still no in-space effect for the storm? Is it just an arbitrary? Hey, this is a thing going on here.
No,
Not that
it
you
has
could tell.
visuals.
It's
really
like, you know how you're getting repped and you get that little symbol above your capacitor?
I meant like in space, but
No,
Oh,
there's
and-
colors and stuff.
*2, Bunny.
Like
so
the
there's
system's
a,
very
it's a
blue.
visual. There's
It's
a
like
visual,
colors.
and then it's the yeah, like Lorosek was gonna say, the worm.
I just got it. Why you
I was gonna
why
say
you
it's like
report
the
the weather, Rain, is because your name is Rain. Ah, it makes so
There
much
you go.
sense
Did
now.
I not just
No,
say that?
no one else
That's
is
the
tracking
joke I
it.
just
I'm
made.
tracking it.
Because everybody's
Alright.
not made that joke before.
Has there been discussion about how much the no cloaking is a massive middle finger to content creators, or am I gonna just have to log off for 2
How
weeks?
is this? It's
if
only
nobody
like
storms.
4 systems, 4 or 5. Like
It's
not
a
really
radius.
that much of a hit.
It's a radius of 3, so it's 7 in each direction.
But like,
It's sort of a 7 diameter.
okay, but still, it's like not that big of a hit. I don't think.
It is if it comes up in a pipe somewhere where there's only like 1 or 2 midpoints leading in and out of a certain area. Sort of crabbing pockets, places up in drones, up in Cobalt, where you can't get into the little nooks and crannies without taking specific midpoint systems. And it's
So-
just going to not allow us to take said midpoints for however many days the storm is there, because we can't.
What
use
is
Sun's
your statement that it stops content creation?
It makes content creation more difficult because the times I've bumped into the storm and been annoyed by it is when I'm moving around sinos, or when I'm setting up blops in mids, or moving around nomadic supers because they can't cloak in these systems, or trying to tackle walk walls because Sabers not being able to cloak is a huge deal when tackling walk walls, and especially super caps as well. It's a huge defensive advantage, and it makes my life as a predator harder, which is not something that EVE Online needs right now.
I don't know if that's accurate, man. Like I definitely feel you when I say it makes the hunters' life harder, right? But I mean, I think this is the best way to really see how much that's true and not true, right? Like,
That's true.
What's
As
the
long as
point of these things? I
The-
still don't get the point of these
the
things.
point.
To
I'm
add variety.
I'm probably speaking on Vali's behalf a little bit here, but I assume the point of them is to give CCP localized areas to test extreme mechanics, kind of like Blackout, except Blackout was way too extreme, and instead of doing something across the galaxy like that. They are doing what happens if we disable cloaking, and they're just trying it in little pockets and seeing what happens in these little self-contained ecosystems. I assume that's some of the intent behind it, which is why I really hope that CCP actually iterate on it, like people have been saying that they plan to, because
When
I've
is
heard that
this
quite a few times.
like
with
ESS
no
update
follow
gonna
through.
hit for ratting, where like you have to have the ESS down to make ISK, or is that like was that just a rumor?
It was said on, well, I don't know when it's coming out, but it was talked about on stream by CCP Aurora, so it wasn't a rumor.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so am I. I'm looking forward to the details, and then I can say whether I'm looking forward to the patch or not. Hopefully, well, there's the fourth quarter patch coming soon, right? So with any luck, it's in that. Let's hope so.
So really, how long till you own Quirius?
We're in Aquarius today.
How long till you like own it, like stage out of it?
Probably 3 to 4 weeks.
That's a
Ooh.
big timeline.
That feels
Well,
very quick.
To own it, I think 3 4
I
weeks
mean,
is
I
like the
wouldn't
minimum.
like until you like move your staging into Quirius. Like you take a system, then you drop your fort, and you move there.
I don't know, probably a couple weeks at least.
Hang
I
out.
just-
Bill, are you gonna stop him?
Stop them from what? 2 weeks?
This is the part where we move on to talking about the war.
Sure.
Do you fuck with the
Already-
war?
Do you fuck with
Who
the
gives a
war?
shit about fucking Quirius?
Well,
I mean,
to be
part of
honest,
Quirius-
any
That's
normal
interesting.
alliance that had an intelligent
I got it,
defensive
Rabbit.
strategy would have.
Nope.
Miss Quincy, calm down, dude.
Seto, have you
Interesting,
ever
'cause
heard
it
of this
sounds
thing called the Sinojammer wall and like what they could have,
Yeah,
what
I
they might
know.
have been able to do with one?
Ah, man, dude, it gives me fucking flashbacks, man. Fucking
That shit
hate it.
used to be so much fucking fun in the frat
Hey,
war. Oh my god.
No, it didn't. It made me want to stab my eyes out and quit the game every time I
And
logged
the
in.
defense of it was fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about.
Good for you, Bunny. It wasn't for me, man. It wasn't for me. Like I took a sit down and looked at the geography of like Delve like few days ago, and I was like, defending this. Like I get there's the NPC stations there, and it's sort of annoying compared to all the rest of the game because you don't have NPC stations in the middle of your space. But like, God, man, the regionals to get there, and if you fucking jam everything in range of low sec and just use that, oh my God, it would have been a bitch. But like, I don't know. I don't think that
They've already lost Sov in a lot of the key
Yeah,
PM
it's
systems,
just
so
like
it's not going to happen.
it's just not gonna. It's way too late now. But like, if you force them to take a regional by jamming every system that's in range of like low sec and force like the whole Iridium move around thing, I thought was dumb at first, and I was like, well, actually, it's pretty smart because they're just not using jammer mechanics the way they should be at all. But it's okay.
No, they'd rather all night CTA for Fountain Eye hubs that don't matter.
The sooner this war is over, the happier I'll be. That's all that matters.
It's Eve 2, dude.
Bunny, I really hope that you are participating in the Fountain stuff because it's not fair that you're an init member and you don't want to participate.
I probably will tomorrow. I don't know.
Why? Most of the rest of Initiative isn't participating now.
That's not true.
I just don't go on Blurkus's fleets because it's by principle. I just have to make sure everybody knows that Blurkus is garbage. But if Bonga formed, right? Like if Bonga Longa formed in US time zone, I would have absolutely been there. But Blurkus, no, dude, because he's trash. He was trash. He was trash in Tenal. He was trash in the north, and now he's trash here.
So Billy said that init participation is down 40%, which means it's probably only down like 10%.
I don't know. Why don't we go look at the numbers?
Brisk, when did you join init and why?
I joined init in, I want to say, March of 2017. And I joined it because my corp rejoined it. My corp was in Drone Walkers, fighting alongside Tess and the gang. And we got space after that war was over. After that, I guess that version of the Fountain War or Casino War or whatever was over. We moved down to Faith Abyssal, and then COT took the space back from us and said they wanted to turn it into rental space. So then we were supposed to move back to Catch. So we said, fuck that. And we left, and we slept on a couch on Losec for a little while, and then we went back to Init because my corp was one of the founding groups in Init way back in the day. So I've been there ever since. Well, then now I'm in Karma Fleet.
Weren't you a high secker at one point?
I was a high secker for like 10 years. for a very, very long time.
I think it farmed your alliance for whatever reason.
So long, long time in high section.
Actually, had to check there that you hadn't joined Karma Fleet on your main.
No, not yet. They keep asking me. I have an alt that I have in there. It's been there for a while.
You should get Dirk to go to Karma Fleet, dude.
I don't know if they would. I don't think they would handle him very well.
Oh, Dirk?
Which
In
one is
Karma
Dirk? Is
Fleet?
he
Yeah.
I can't remember. Is
Yeah.
he one of the culture dudes? I can't remember who he is.
He's the loud one on Fridays.
Brisky got me. Fuck. It's not 40%.
Is it more than that?
What is it like?
No, it's only 35%.
See, there you go. All right, so that means it's like 10%.
No, like literally, you can
Jeez.
go to the 2-week thread that has the activity, the 7-day activity deltas, right? Initiative plus Merc started at 1234. Initiative itself is down to 552 right now, and Merc's is at like 348, I think, which puts you guys at 900, which puts you about 35% down.
This says
Where
kind
is
of.
this?
There's a guy who's been mapping the 7-day Ezekiel delta on Reddit. You can look, if you look back, the initiative actually was significantly higher than 1200 at start. The first week they were in the 1500 range, so it's actually technically higher than 40%. But I don't know what those numbers were there before that.
Didn't you guys form 1200 for the first CTA of the war? That was some mad numbers. As in it.
They formed 1400 the first
So we
week.
did pretty good.
First, it was more than just the first one. I think it was like the first 2 or 3. But unfortunately, you can't do that every other day.
They did take off work CTAs. Like,
Well, we only did like one of those. The rest were all alphas. Because
you did 2 of them, right?
I don't know if we did 2. I know we did.
You did the first. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did 2 because that's why we blue balled the first 2 D4K EU timers, if I recall correctly.
I don't think the second was a takeoff work CTA in Brisk's defense. Actually,
we rarely call those. I mean, honestly, the only CTAs that I can recall, other than the last one, were all like putting up keep stars.
Yeah,
and we've done like, I don't want to say maybe we've done 5 in 3 years. I think maybe we just don't do that.
I always enjoy whenever there's a beta QRF or an alpha QRF. I've seen 1 or 2 of those. I make it my mission to try to figure out what they're going for, especially if it's Blurkus pinging for them. Everybody has to have a rival, right?
Is Blurkus your rival?
So your rival is like one of the worst. You couldn't have.
You got to set the bar low, dude.
Oh, come on! Is this how you operate in bars in real life?
Oh yeah, dude. If you aim like to just on the other side of Pitcher's Mound, man, whenever you don't knock it out of the park, you don't have to feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, you always start low, man. That's how you get to be an accomplished FC. You just like keep winning at your objectives because you pick the cheesy ones.
Well, not always so easy, but
look at us fighting TD Sin. Like, choose a nice soft target.
You guys are so mean to them.
Yeah, we are.
So mean.
We absolutely are.
My Blurkus hate is inherited. I got it from the person who used to fight him a bunch before me. No, I carry on that hate.
To my knowledge, poor Frank, he has a just cause for being mean to TD Sin.
What's the just cause?
I have a log of one of their leadership admitting that they helped you seed us for the 2018 eviction when you guys killed that star.
We had a lot of had a lot of former TD Sin people that joined in it.
I have the log, and when we confronted the member of leadership with the log, he admitted it. So I'm gonna go with that's being true.
It's probably one of the best reasons to wage war and even I've ever heard of.
And then in the recent war, like we took out Revenge, which was whatever, and then Izuki started trash talking and accusing us all of RMT and all that sort of stuff, and it got to the point where we really didn't care about the dude who helped you guys in 2018 anymore. It was just he'd talked so much shit without really thinking about the consequences and alienated all of his allies to the point that we just wanted to keep bullying them. And like he approached us right near the end for a surrender deal, and me and Brax, as my CEO, was sat in a room with him, and we couldn't think of anything he could give us that would make us stop, because like we just like, I don't know, what do we stand to gain besides cutting off the content that we were having? I don't know. And now they're in it, I don't think anyone really wants them in one more space that much. Like people blame me for getting Izuki out of the CSM, but even if you remove me from the polls and recalculate the numbers, Exuki still doesn't beat out Phantomite. He still would have lost his seat.
Nah,
he still would have lost. He still would have lost over 400 votes. I mean, do the maths, man. I'm telling you, he wouldn't have. He would have lost by a little more than I did.
That's only if you're saying that everybody that voted for you did not vote for him.
No, I'm saying if you take my name out of the equation and then rerun the calculation and give the people who put Exuki on their ballot behind me, give them my votes. The same way as if somebody's removed from the CSM and you run the recalculation, because I did that and I found that Exuki still didn't beat Phantomite.
No, but if you had not run and there was one wormhole candidate, you would expect that the wormholers would all vote for him like last time, and that's how.
That's true. But if that was true, the question is, all the people who voted for me, the majority of them put Phantomite as their number 2. Right, you'd think that if they won, that
if they had all put Phantomite as their number 2 and they put Exuki as their number 1, then he would have won.
They wouldn't have put Exuki as their number 1 because
that's the
logically,
that's what I'm saying.
And they wouldn't have done it even if I had one.
No shit.
Bunny can't. Bunny doesn't want to talk about CSM stuff.
Oh, I failed epically. It's all right.
Do you want to hear something funny, Bunny?
Huh.
I ran the calculations on Frat out of curiosity because I was trying to get on their ballot. They put me 5th on their ballot, and I worked out that if they put me 4th, me and you would have been on CSM instead of Kenneth and Phantomite. That was the one change that would have done it.
So the only thing, I don't really harbor any kind of ill will. I did run the best race, et cetera, all the feel good posting that I have to do. I kind of realized so you know how it gets, right? You get down to when they're like, okay, voting will start at the time. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks because there wasn't a whole lot of time from when they announced the dates to whenever voting started. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna, I already reached out to some people once I started to run, and they're like, okay, we'll get back to you. And I kind of noticed whenever certain people weren't getting back to me, no matter how many times I kind of asked them, that I wasn't gonna make it. So Frat, I hit up Norris once or twice, and he's like, I'll get back to you once they announce voting. And then they announced voting, and then I don't think he ever got back to me, which, if you don't respond to DMs, it's a lot of people mark themselves do not disturb. So I'm not going to say it was rude or whatever. So the people who said they would definitely put me on their ballots, I was ready for that. But the people, not like I kind of bet on the fact that I'd end up on ballots that I didn't hear from anybody, right? So it's I'm not going to bank on making it on the Goon ballot if nobody in Goons is saying they're going to do it. The only one I made it on that was kind of surprising was the test and legacy one, and the Russian one. That was kind of fun. But
I voted for you.
Thanks.
I think I voted for you. I think you were number 5 on HKs.
I voted for
you. I can't remember.
Obviously,
I was either 2 or 3 from making it. I think. I don't know. I don't really.
I think I did a null block list and a non-null block list for HK, and just told people to mix and match. And you were number 1 on a null block, I believe. I can't remember.
I mean, regardless, I did the
Tuesday ballot.
Yeah, I ran the best race I could have. I think. I mean, there was a couple things I wouldn't. I don't think I'll do it again though, for sure.
That dog video is priceless.
The what one?
Video.
Oh, the dog one. It took a solid 2 weeks of Pittsburgh PMing me about dog videos for a dog clip to add to that video before I actually got around to doing it. Mostly because my apartment is 9 times out of 10 a wreck and not really camera worthy. Didn't mean to kill the conversation. CSM's boring to talk about.
You're totally fine. CSM's super boring unless there's debates, which are going to happen again next year. You better believe it. Huh?
Those are boring too.
It was the thing that all the talk shows. It was the thing that all the talk shows discussed for the solid month leading up to the CSM. So
I got to one of the best things wasn't even the fact that I got to go on and talk to a whole bunch of people. It's getting to become talking and associating with people I would have never talked, like DTM. I would have zero reason to ever interact with DTM if it wasn't for running for CSM. And I still talk to him. I helped him out with the clip with all the Rorquals and the if Eve had proximity chat video. That was me and him sat on the test server for about 10 or 15 minutes just setting up Rorquals just so we could get that clip. There's actually an unreleased section where I just bosuned a lot of them with my Airbus. But there's another story behind that too. But
I forgot the industrial cores, by the way, on those Rorquals. I'm just saying.
Well, that's no brackets, so you can't tell that there's no pilots in any of them.
All right, fair enough.
Because I may be in an old block, but I absolutely do not rat. So, or mine rather. So I can't fly that many works at once.
Good for you.
Yeah, fuck miners.
Fuck miners indeed.
Mining sucks. Fuck mining.
So one of the topics that we haven't gotten to yet, and I don't know if it's because you guys think it's boring or what, but I'm curious what you guys think the galaxy is going to look like after this war is all done. As far as
this is brought
our
every
No, you literally ask this question every week.
No, I mean,
Yes, you do.
I don't think we've ever talked about it though.
You want to talk about it, but nobody wants to talk about it because nobody wants to be the guy that says this is what's going to happen and look like a colossal dumbass when it doesn't.
I will.
I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I reckon
nothing else changes. Wow.
Good move to Luxeg. I reckon so. Wormhole Society have recently taken a system in Fountain. I reckon they'll have conquered at least half a Fountain by December this year. Wormhole Corps are actually like closet, very effective nullsec PvPers. So that's my prediction. Wormhole Sock's going to take Fountain.
I mean, you can go fight in it for it right now because I hear they're trying to take it back.
Yeah, like Wormhole Sock's TCU has been refed. I'm sure they'll turn up and fight off in it. I'm looking forward to watching them. Like I reckon they're a good match against in it. I reckon they'll wipe the floor with them.
Wait. Did you call wormholers? Did you call them closet nullsec PvPers?
Yeah.
Like as though they're trying to hide it, and at some point they got to come out of the closet and prove that they're nullsec PvPers. Is that what you're trying to say?
Like a pretty accurate description.
Yeah, because on average,
you don't ever have to stay in the closet.
I'd say on average, nullsec PvPers tend to be better than wormhole PvPers. So proving that you're a true nullsecer is a... Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sorry.
That?
You can, because I've said that quite a few times. I honestly believe that there's a lot of really stupid wormholers.
Just an equal, if not exponentially more amount of stupid nullsecers.
Because like I've evicted true wormholers and I've evicted nullsecers that run Bear Corps, and I'll tell you that wormholers are dumber, even when it comes to wormhole mechanics a lot of the times. Except for Wormhole Sock, I like Wormhole Sock. I reckon they're gonna fight off in it and keep Fountain.
I think he's just trying to say that he wants a rainbow skin for his ship.
No, I'm just giving you a really bullshit answer because nobody's going to give you a real answer. I'm just filling the time here.
If you want to, I'll give you a non-bullshit answer if you want. I don't know what the solve or map or anything like that's going to look about, and I don't really care. But what you will see, which I'm the most excited about, and I tried to talk John Hartley into not retiring a couple days ago, is the sheer amount of people who are kind of intent on this being their last go at the game in nulls block war types shit, right? So I've already heard it from plenty of like old guard type dudes who are just done straight up once this war is done in whatever form that takes, and that's the part that excites me the most.
Excites you?
Yes, because then it opens up the game. So like, think of it. I wish I had time to prepare this spiel, but I'm gonna try to go off the top of my head. So think of it like the FCs of the old days, right? The Sesfan Kala and fucking Shadu and all those dudes who FC'd way back whenever the game was really annoying and had a whole bunch of bugs and tie-dye wasn't a thing. Then you have a new block of FCs that are around like the Halloween War and all that shit. And now you have another block of FCs that are doing this shit, like the Citadel, tie-dye, Boosh era FCs. So what, after this war, it opens up the possibility for yet another era of maybe there's no goons, maybe there's a super goons, maybe then there's no, like, the amount of unknowns and the amount of people who are just decided that they don't want to play, that they're like they've been playing this game long enough and that this is going to be it no matter which way the coin falls. I like that the most.
I wonder how many people say that after major wars. Did you hear that sort of talk after World War B? I don't know.
Well, it's not about people saying that after the war. It's about people saying that before the war is over.
Right.
There's a lot of people I think that are very tired, I guess you could say, and they're looking at this as an opportunity to, see EVE off in a good way, to put your contribution in and know that you made a good impact on the game, I guess.
Basically, go all in, and no matter how it goes, you ended on what is the biggest war in the last however long.
It's a swan song. I think, should the war go Pappy's way, which I currently see it as going towards slowly but surely, Goons would obviously evac to low sec. Perhaps they would try to return to Delve, perhaps not. But as long as they're in low sec, their numbers will start slowly dropping off. The core of goons will never die, and they will always exist, but perhaps their numbers will drop off to a point where they're no longer a significant threat. Perhaps they'll take self somewhere, or perhaps they'll stay in low sec. But staying in low sec is probably not the best idea for them either way. And after that, I like to. I'm gonna say perhaps somebody's gonna have to look at Fraternity and Winterco and all the things that they've been doing during this war and in between. They're gonna be. They're getting quite strong and they're getting very wealthy through not the best methods.
I mean, all you can speculate which wars happen after this war till the cows come home, but I was more speaking on the landscape of the game in general, not really on the we should all go kill Fraternity after this.
Well, as for the landscape of the game, it'll be a north-south divide.
I don't think
I
so,
don't
dude.
know.
Me neither.
I don't think a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people who are allied right now to fight goons are very interested in staying allied right now, let alone continuing after goons are dead.
Whoever leaves the big coalitions after this war will probably be the next prime spot for Goonswarm to hit next.
At the end of the
Whoever
day, you
wins
know,
is going to
and
get turned on by everybody.
and Brisk can attest to this as well, because at the end of the day, Test is next, right? Right, Brisk?
But Brave is first.
But Brave is first. Well, no, Brave is fine. The Test is next.
What if it's Brave that kills Test? See, you guys aren't thinking about the big picture, like out of the box type shit.
But here's the funny
Oh,
thing,
fuck's
and this
sake.
is this is something that I've tried to talk to people about before, but nobody ever really listens when I try and explain this. Alliances have their time. They have their place in history, and then they die. And certainly Test has been, in a way, Brave's big brother. And if us helping Brave rebuild in the post-hero era and taking them under our wing and seeing them kind of grow and usurp us and be the one to kill us, fuck, that'd be awesome. Not that we give
Worse
me more
ways
pleasure.
to go out for sure.
Well, listen, like trying to maintain this hold on control is one of the things that drives me most up the wall in this game of some groups and people. It's like just give other groups a chance. Like, yeah, they're not going to be as good at you in some ways, and they're not going to be as capable militarily or this or that. But if you kind of choke out their ability to grow, they'll never have the opportunity, right? And I know we've put in so much work trying to give a lot of the groups in Legacy the room to grow, and I know we haven't been successful at all times, and we've made wrong calls. But if the next big group is somebody that we helped to kind of grow under our wing, nothing would give me more pleasure, even if they're the ones that end up taking us out back and shooting us old Yeller style.
It will make you prouder for a group that you raised to one day have their ambitions set on you.
Yeah, it's like the Sith Lords out of Star Wars, right? The apprentice needs to kill the master at the end.
Comparing
I mean, like I said, there's worse ways to go out. What's worse, right? Getting usurped by an alliance you saw grow, been under your wing for the better part of it's been a long time since Hero was a thing, and then getting killed outright in combat like that, or sitting your alliance in a region and crabbing it to death. Like, I can tell you which way I'd go out if it was my choice.
I think the worst way to go out is probably some of the Vale residents right now being slowly suffocated by Frat looking to
Man, you were just on this Frat hate bunner, dude.
Well,
I don't actually. No, I'll tell you what. Frat is probably by far one of the most responsive when it comes to removing botted characters from their space. But goddamn, they have a lot of bots. And yeah, no, they're taking a lot of space for more and more rental users. They dropped a fucking Fortizai and Vino and pushing south. They're taking a lot of space.
Are you happy with what Frat's doing, or are you like disappointed? Because I can't tell. Like, on the one hand, you say they have a lot
Frat
of bots.
responded to his email, so he's happy with them, but he's still mad.
I appreciate that they do remove the bots. Okay, hold the phone. I appreciate that they actively remove the bots and they're very responsive to that. I don't appreciate how they're constantly expanding their space, and their space is very commonly occupied by fucking renters and bots. I don't like renters and bots. I want to see independent groups rise from this.
I'm picking up that you don't really care for bots. Is that true?
Renters were
absolutely
Renters
care
are
for bots.
great,
Are you
dude.
kidding?
Renters are great. When Northern Associates owned like half of Nullsec, it was one of the best times as a small gang, dude. What are you talking about?
Sorry, botting renters. If
Nothing
it were,
wrong with renters. Renters are the lifeblood.
You know
of
what's
demo
going to be
dudes.
funny? It's going to be hilarious when, come to find out in like a year or two time, we all learn that Rich Richmond has been running the world's largest botting empire in EVE of all time.
Like he was the dude who posted about the kids with guns thing.
Oh my god, I remember that.
That was fantastic.
We'll see. We'll see.
He got real quiet all of a sudden. That's pretty rare.
It did get real quiet.
I do know, I was right-hand man of some we'll see. We'll keep that quiet. Mum's the word.
All right, Rich.
I want to say when I saw that RuneScape article that made the front page of Reddit, I was positive they were talking about you.
That
Oh, yeah, I saw
RuneScape
that.
article.
Oh yeah,
What's my
no,
shit
no,
up,
no. I'm serious. All these RuneScape worlds, they got that area locked down in the PvP area. These Venezuelans, they bat phone each other for help. They all, suddenly 800 people log onto that world because, as of right now, RuneScape Gold is worth more than the Venezuelan Bolivar. And when it comes to your next meal or RuneScape, no, you fucking protect your RuneScape. Now, I'm curious what would happen if somebody leaked the fact that you can RMT EVE Online, how much that's worth, and what happens when the Venezuelans come here, because that I want to see, but I don't want to see it happen. It'll be like a car crash in slow motion.
That there are other games that the profit and risk reward for doing that is higher.
I don't think it's a secret that you're able to RMT in EVE. I don't think that's like a covertly kept secret thing.
Well, I don't think the Venezuelans know just how potentially profitable EVE Online
Now I don't know
is.
if you just hate botters or
Rich, I don't think
Venezuelans.
you-
Like I'm
I hate
so
Venezuelans
confused.
a lot more than
Rich,
botters.
here's the real problem here, Rich. I don't think you know how actually like small and like little RMT there is in EVE compared to most other games. Like to me, that's the kind of funny thing because when you compare the CCP EVE Online ecosystem to like WoW or FF14 or any of the other major titles where there's the ability to do that kind of thing, like CCP, yeah, we have a problem in EVE that we're always gonna have to work on. But compared to some of the other games that exist, the games with literally millions or hundreds of thousand players like actives, like the scale of our problem is fucking minuscule. And to think that a group is gonna like look at EVE Online and the minuscule amount that they can make playing EVE Online seems naive.
I accept your point. I think you got me on that one. The RMT market
Someone clip that. Someone clip that.
Seriously, clip it. Save that.
What? I mean, I'm
Redline, you got to put that in the opening from now on.
Okay.
Come on, Brisk. I don't spin like you. I'm not a fucking washing machine here.
Rich, all you do is talk about botting. All you do is talk about botting.
All you do is spin. Some.
Well, no shit. Why do you think I'm fucking here?
You're a fucking washing machine. People put fucking.
I make washing machines look like they're standing still.
Oh shit!
I just got this picture in my mind of that video of the person throwing the brick in the washing machine. And it going bananas.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
I mean, that's all you are. You're a fucking washing machine. People put their,
now you got to double down on it because you said something funny.
Yeah, it's not as funny when you say it the third time. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Rich.
it was good the first time.
Everybody keeps interrupting. Anyway, very well then. You can clip that.
Welcome to Trash Talk Tuesday.
Everybody interrupts, but yeah, you're the loudest one.
Seriously though, you got to put that. You got to put that in the opening. I'm not kidding.
I still like the hell merch.
Look, when I make a new opening, I will consider that. There's got to be some good quality clips.
Omeka yelling.
Redline, I want You've Got Me There on a t-shirt.
Okay. I got you, dude.
You need to take the Ragnarok off the back of the mug and put that on the back of it.
Just like Rich with a quote bubble that says "You've got me there."
You got me there.
Yeah. Maybe a little warp disruption indicator on there as well.
Nah, we're going too far. We're going too far. Because it's not about warp disruption. It's about literally someone got you, buddy. You got.
You need to have Rich burning the Venezuelan flag on the shirt.
Bruh.
I think that's a bit offensive.
So this is the part of the show where we go through final thoughts before
What,
we
we're not
get
going to
banned on
talk about the
Twitch?
only major cap battle of the war
Yes.
so far?
Yeah, let's talk about that because
Wait, I thought that was in Fountain.
Goons fed the fuck out of some dreadnoughts. Villy is live with the story. Villy, what happened in
Oh, this is the G Magic
G-Tac
one.
M?
Okay.
What happened in G Magic?
So ProGod was trying to take a pretty tight fight with Elo. He was using some caps to equalize the numerical disadvantage. They went at 0 in the gate with like 20 caps. Goons saw an opportunity to kick some ass because I think there was 5 super carriers in that mix, and because the carriers were dropped, super carriers were dropped basically on the gate. You know, the regional gate advantage was basically nullified. So Goons made a play. Most of the caps actually got out. Everything but like 1 super carrier and like 2 minnows. And then the FC accidentally flew up the entire super fleet back to the gate at 0. So at that point, we were kind of pot committed, and we took a pretty risky fight. And obviously, the Imperium put together everything they could. I think they had about 85 dreads and 20 carriers or something like that. But their numbers just weren't what they needed to be. We dropped supers and we were able to shred the dreads quick enough. And they white knuckled pretty hard and they couldn't get through the gate. And it was a pretty massive victory for us.
I mean, you guys
God.
control the subcap side of things too, handedly.
Well, we were the
helped a lot,
subcap inferior fleet for the first 30 minutes of the fight, right?
I mean,
Literally, all we had was like a
lot of
small
people
nightmare
don't
fleet.
realize that how much of a difference that makes when you can control the subcap side of things in a capital fleet. Yeah.
So Twitch
But
chat
that's what
is
I'm saying though, is that you guys
uh,
had the subcap advantage for the first 30 minutes of that fight.
Twitch
Yet
chat's saying that
we
you guys kept
knocked
the
them out on
Goons
top of it.
supers out. Were Goons about to jump that gate?
So what happened is Legacy came in from the Stain angle into TCAG and controlled the regional gate so that because Goons hesitated and they were white knuckling and they were just sat on their Fortizar aligned to the gate. Brave got in there in time before they could finally kind of man up, and they prevented them from jumping supers through the gate to kind of like crush us basically. Because even like literally it's our second supercap fleet, and like half of the people had their main armor supercap pilots in Fountain logged off in a Fortizar, so they couldn't actually jump clone back to their armor supers. So it was a pretty small armor supercap fleet. But Legacy came in, locked down the TCAG G Magic gate, so they couldn't warp supercaps to the gate later on in the fight. It was a pretty heroic moment on comms for us. I know.
I remember that.
Yeah, we were pretty pumped because everybody thought Brave was coming through the jump gate, not from the Stain angle, and it made a ton of difference in the way the fight kind of played out.
So what would have happened if the Goons jumped the supers in?
There's a variety of things that could have happened. It's hard to say exactly what would have happened, but certainly it's entirely possible we would have lost anywhere from 5 to 10 Titans. Is a very real possibility. I mean, we might have traded 1 or 2 back, but like that would have been my expectation. We were blowing through our Doomsdays, and they would have came in Doomsday fresh. Their supers would have came in with heavy bombers running and straight at us. We had some facts, but we hadn't used the cache in the south very much, so we didn't have any practice with it, and we were having all kinds of problems getting it handed out at the time. So my expectation is we would have lost at minimum 5, if not 10 Titans. And that would not have been
And
good.
if we had traded them, it would have been my fucking Titan that went down. I would have been pissed.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, as I said, we probably would have taken 1 or 2 down as well with us, but I doubt much more than that. Obviously, there would have been reinforcements coming from Legacy and from NC in the Fat area, but those are just regular cash for the most part. It could have played out a number of ways. If we let a bunch of them in and then regain control of the regional at TCAG, it would have been interesting maybe. But the reality is, if they were going to make the play aggressively, they should have signed in on the gate, accepted that 15% of their fleet was just going to bump all to fucking high hell, and jumped in with the 85%. The hesitation is really what won us the fight more than anything. If they
Do
would
you-
have just committed right away, it would have been rough.
Do you think the way things are sitting right now, where everyone has, what the fleets that could have turned into another 36-hour fight, or is it would have been over just too fast?
Well, it would have went to downtime.
Yeah,
Like, so-
plus there wouldn't have been, I think it was like 38 or 38 to 40 Titans on the Goon side sitting on the Fortesire.
Yeah, like the Goon numbers were
39.
insanely low, like insanely low. So it was definitely one of those things where, like, it could have gone any number of ways, but the I don't blame them for white knuckling, because I don't like. They literally only outnumbered, like, just test armor, like half super cap fleet by like 15 Titans, which is like unconceivable, basically. So I mean, I don't know what the issue was, if they just couldn't get the people online, or everybody gone to bed already, or what it was, but
I think timing is what it was a big.
Well,
thing.
absolutely, but you got to
All of
remember
a
the
sudden,
timing is
no
equal,
one is-
right?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. But if it was one of those things, it wasn't planned or anything, and it was just like all of a sudden,
But
like,
it
oh,
wasn't
shit.
planned for us either, though.
Well, I
Right?
know.
So,
I
like,
can tell you after the first 2 pings I heard on the test side, I was like, okay, whatever, just normal fleet ship. By ping 7, I was like, okay, maybe this is a little bit serious. And probably by 10 or 11, I was like, all right, time to get up.
I was the same way.
Get me a
several pings went by,
wormhole
I'm like,
now.
I did ping that. I pinged
Yeah, I
that a
know.
lot, actually.
Random people are like, you guys got a wormhole? It's like, fuck no, we don't have a wormhole. It's like, do you think we planned this?
going on?
You're all fucking
Somebody's,
welcome, by the way.
We're all just sitting there like on comms, like, fuck, dude, I don't know what's gonna happen if they take this gate right now.
Somebody's talking about how the reason why Goons weren't able to successfully form is because of
Mostly because I was
shithole
super
US
ignorant.
hours. Shithole
Well,
US
fight
hours.
was at
is
like
what we use.
0400, 0300, something like that. And I mean, it's late US, but like it's
Not
fine time zone for
unusual,
West
though.
Coast,
Yeah,
and
not unusual.
it's manageable.
It's 8 p.m. Eastern. That's
That's my
reasonable time,
fucking
man.
time, dude. That's
Yeah,
my
that's
time to
exactly.
shine.
No,
when
it
the
wasn't
kids
8
are
p.m.
in bed.
Eastern. It was 11 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, it was like 11 Eastern because
Oh, okay,
it was
never
10 Central whenever I woke up.
And
11
that
p.m.
is
Eastern.
not my time to shine.
Okay,
No,
never
okay.
mind.
It was not like like US. We always argue about this in like in other
Oh, and it was
places.
only
Ends essentially
armor
at
super fleet.
600. We used to
Sorry.
have a rule. We used to have a rule whenever we were at war with like Rangers Regiment and all those dudes up north that you don't do anything past 0700 because then you walk into China time zone and quickly you leave. Then you very quickly you leave American time zone. You go from getting like anywhere from 25 to 40 supers to 10. You get mollywopped by the fucking Chinese Red Army.
Well, true story. AOM, like, mid fight was like, "Are we fighting now, Billy?" Yes. Okay. Like, but they moved all their fucking supers up to fucking, like, with the rest of us. I was like, fuck. Right? Like, they were like getting their kill mode on.
I apparently missed out half the message. It was also their only armor super fleet. And somebody, okay, I want to address this because somebody said that test should man up. No.
You're
Fuck you.
getting
I hate this. I hate this man up mentality.
No.
When I hear it, I want to throw up. Instead, instead of manning up, people should grow up and assess the situation properly. Fucking man up. Get the fuck out of here.
Grow up doesn't make it good as a fucking Reddit post, dude.
Yeah, okay, but
You told me to man up, but I wouldn't.
everybody just wants to tap, get their fucking internet numbers. Fuck that. If I make it as a front page of Reddit, I make it as a front page of Reddit. If I don't, who gives a shit? It's just fucking numbers. It's just karma. It's worthless.
Rich won't shut up.
It's people
And
just
when he looks at
regurgitating.
you,
Listen
he
here,
throws
bud.
up.
It's just people who are regurgitating what they hear on shows like this. People, what you say, just say to the masses because it sounds hilarious to us, but then you have to see it get regurgitated on like Reddit, and you're like, oh fuck, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
But
because now
that's the
you-
thing, like, especially when you're making jokes and you think everybody recognizes that this is not
That
real
is
and
a
you're
joke.
just making a joke, and then they say it seriously, and then you feel bad.
Brisk, how about you get the Imperial fleet to show up next time, so I don't have to address this kind of shit.
Why do you act like I have any fucking responsibility whatsoever?
Everyone knows you're second in charge of the Imperium.
Oh god.
Or freight trade diplomacy, fucking permanent fleet just got waxed in Kyra.
I
Not
am a
waxed.
TV empty suit. That's all I am.
Oh fuck, I'm timed out. All right, see you in a bit.
Why are you timed out? I'm confused.
Somebody timed out Rich. That's
Oh,
awesome.
it was Ron. Of course it was Ron.
Go eat a crayon,
just-
Ron.
There you go. One meerkat down.
11 to go.
Only 11?
Wait, are we going through final thoughts?
I thought so, because we're like 2 minutes over.
See, this show is unlike other shows about EVE Online where we don't really have a time when we stop. We just stop when we feel like it. So when the conversation dies down, we'll die down with it.
All right. Well, I'm getting out of here because I've got an empire to run in CK3. I will see you guys.
Okay,
there
well,
was
give
a
us
fight in
give us
fucking
your final thought, Brisk.
My final thought is I hope everybody tunes into the Meta Show on Saturday.
Fuck the Meta Show. Meta Show is fucking garbage.
Stupid.
Why would anybody bother to tune into that toxic piece of shit show?
Because everyone loves it. It's amazing.
Nobody loves it. They
Everyone
just watch it. They just watch it because they are much like me when I was in Goons, just begging for that Matani shout out.
No, because and then you get it and you don't like it.
You mean like now?
We give it to you every week and you don't like it.
Tawny's is not a good thing. It is a sign that somebody with problems is yelling at you because you did something.
Redline pulls the Notice Me Senpai and it works, and he gets upset about it.
It's
I don't
because
pull a Notice
the
Me
Meta
Senpai.
Show. In the
I
Meta
pull
Show,
the
there
leave
is
me alone, Brisk Screwball.
in the Meta Show there is no truth, and in Talking in Stations there is no news. So you listen to both of them to get a good idea what the truth and the news is, or you tune into here and you get both at the same time.
I think the Matani's
Talking
too
I don't
Station.
think I've ever said that's true here, so I don't think so.
So what you're
The
saying is
Matani's
this
too
is the
scared
best
to go
of
to
the
any other program.
I don't think he's scared. I just think he's. I mean, what's the point?
There have been talks of the Crossing the Red Line show, and I mentioned it last week, and I'm here to say that the only way that show happens is if the Matani is my first guest.
This is the third
Crossing the Red
Line.
See, that is your guaranteed way of never having to do another show.
Yeah.
You
wanted Brisk first, then you wanted Bunny, now you want Matani. You need to fucking make up your mind.
Tawny's never going to go into a show where he doesn't control all the questions.
Like I said, I got an empire to run. I'll see you guys.
Tawny's a politician. Scared. That's actually a really good statement from Billy there. I couldn't have said it to anybody.
He's got an empire to run. He's got to go.
Do a closing statement so we can all go play Among Us.
Oh yeah, that's right. That game exists. Let's do that. All right, we're gonna go through.
Shout out to Olivia who attempted to shoot my pod and failed. I appreciate it.
She does not. She holds a grudge. Just so you know.
She
guys
almost
have a good night. I'll be right back.
Shout out to AARP for repping my pod. I love you guys. You're my new favorite blues. All right, everyone else needs a shout out. Let's go play Among Us.
All right, let's go top to bottom. You guys can sort yourselves out in your shout outs. We'll start with Blazing and end with Seto.
Shout out to the US time zone crew, like always. I can't wait for the next couple months, and also Blurkus is still garbage.
Fair.
Well, thank you to Bristol Ball and the Matani for addressing certain concerns that were raised on the Meta Show recently. I will be coming out with a new article addressing these things, and thanks to the members of Goon Swarm for also clarifying a few things on some Goon fucking rules.
Is there an order here? Or we just.
I think Dominarch left. Sloro next.
Oh yeah, Dominarch left. Okay, Laura.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have friends to shout out.
So then don't
Damn,
shout out
I thought we
anybody.
were friends, Loro.
Just
You know,
if
I'll
you
change my
don't-
shout out. Shout out to
look.
Loro because he's a bro.
Look,
they're
if
all
you
on the show,
don't,
Blazing.
if you don't have people to shout out, then shit
I'll tell
talk
you, I'll
somebody.
shout out.
Shit talk TD or some shit like that, dude. No one cares. Just say something cringy. It's okay. It's
Oh,
Draft
yeah,
Talk Tuesday.
Okay. I'll take this opportunity to welcome TD Sin back to Wormhole Space. They just moved into a new wormhole. I hope they do really well in it.
Actually, true. They've left initiative, or they doing it?
No,
as part
they've just moved into a wormhole. They're still in the alliance.
That's a shame.
Let's see for a reason.
Passive aggressive. I can't tell if this is shade or a real shout out.
We just finished the armor timers on their new wormhole, so it's.
I told you were a vacation one, and no, the guy wouldn't tell me who. Ram goes, "Hey, we may need your help evicting," and I'm like, "Who are you evicting?" And then he was like, "I can't tell you." And I'm like, "Okay."
I mean, it's on Zkill, so it's not OPSEC. But
Well, you
yeah.
just said it, so that's why I assumed it was on OPSEC. I wasn't gonna mention it on the show because he came out of nowhere and he's like, "Hey, I may need your help evicting someone." I was like, "Just tell me when and where to be. I'll be there."
No, it won't be a fight. And if anyone from TTSIN is watching and wants to change that, go ahead. But it won't be a fight.
You're being nice, Laura Sacco.
Damn,
I'm never nice.
He said it won't be a fight. Whew. All right, Rain. You already got your shout out. Sager?
Shout out to all the war deckers who actually give a shit about all the war deck shit that's going down in high sec. And Redline 3 times a week.
Fuck off, dude. Always with the 3 times a week. All right, Villy?
Does that count?
Oh, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
You don't even want to call Rich dumbass?
I have
no
much
exceptional test member that you want to shout out?
There's tons of test members that deserve shoutouts, but if I give one to one person, that usually just creates a... There's too many people. I could be here all week.
Too many exemplary members of the Enthusiastic Test Alliance. Fair, right?
Of course.
Sure.
All right, Seto?
I want to shout out whoever killed the 9UI Keepstar. And also want to shout out Ezekiel for blocking me on Discord after I fought him yesterday. It was really mean. I thought he was a good friend of mine, but turns out he's not. Because he said "fuck you" and then blocked me. Was quite sad by that statement.
Can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
I'm dead serious. I thought he was a good friend of mine, and then he said "fuck you, good fight," and then blocked me.
Oh damn, fuck that dude then.
I've known him since like the frat war, and he was always a good buddy, and then he just blocked me. And I was really upset.
Damn.
Oh, what an asshole.
Exactly.
Do you need a hug?
I mean, also shout out for TTT because I'm back. I'm in the middle of college, but I mean, I'll make it when I can.
Hell yeah, dude. Welcome back. For anybody who
Yeah,
doesn't
post
know,
your games. I want to see your workout.
Seto
wanna see my
hasn't been
workout?
here for a
I
while.
can give you a before and after
God love
picture,
him. He's the most handsome man on the show.
I'm
Well,
the most Chad guy on the show, is what it is.
That's a fucking bold statement, Billy here.
Villy here. You mean Laura Sacco?
But what have I done?
I don't think I've ever actually seen Laura.
In real life.
Laura, post a picture.
Yeah.
I'm not post. Right. We need to have a conversation about who you send in my direction because you say they're cute. Okay, Rain?
She was cute.
wow.
She's actually been a pleasant conversation. I'm not gonna lie. It's just it was a strange introduction.
Look, that's how it always is.
Apparently.
when it's from the girl Discord. I'm so sorry.
Great opening line. 10 out of 10 opening line.
Was it like man the harpoon type of?
So you're a
line?
matchmaker now, huh?
It was that level of cringe, yeah.
Jesus.
It was good. It was
That's
good.
so cute.
I'm stalling here.
Oh, why?
Just keep
I'm not
talking.
gonna explain it, so.
No, neither am I.
Keep talking. I'm stalling.
Stalling
Don't
for
we?
what?
Don't we have to go offline, Redline?
Yeah, we
No, we
do,
own
but
the
I'm
channel.
stalling
For what?
so that I can raid my channel.
You can't go live twice.
Oh, I see. So that's why you wanted to
Watch
watch.
me.
That's why you wanted
Ooh.
to watch. What was it? Your Name, Rain, because you've been fucking playing Matchmaker.
Remind me next week. I have leaks for you. And it'll involve my shout out.
Rich Richmond, it's really easy to play matchmaker. When the girl Discord has a thirst channel, we all just share pictures of cute guys.
Well then.
Hey, the Sinners Discord has one too. At their channel. It's not a cute guys though.
It is an
Is it
awful.
pictures of Redline?
No,
terrible
actually,
channel.
for a while, it was actually used for its purpose for a while, and then all of a sudden, it just became the channel to ping Redline 3 times a week, or call them offline, or streamline, or we have a lot of different names.
Yeah, it's true. All right, well, what I'll do is I'm gonna cut the stream on this, and then I'm gonna go over to my channel and do we're gonna play Among Us. So if anybody wants to come play Among Us, you're more than welcome to hop into the Discord. We're gonna do that here shortly. So for me and everybody else on Trash Talk Tuesday, thanks so much for watching. this shitty, terrible, awful